Hello and welcome back to Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. Joining me today are my co-host, former Jedi, now Sith Lord Darth Mossum, and the conflicted young prodigy Dave Oren. And today we are looking ahead to the movie series and video games in fandom or fandom adjacent coming out in 2026. And what a year it will be. Basically, every franchise has a show dropping. We have Avengers Doomsday, Star Wars is back, Nolan is back, Grand Theft Auto is back, maybe. And there's so much more. And don't forget to check us out on social media at YSO Pod, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review. We are going through some issues right now on Apple and Spotify, but everything's up on YouTube, and we'll always be safe up there. But we'll get it figured out. There might be a new page you're gonna have to go follow and subscribe to, but we'll figure it out for you.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. And don't forget to check out some of our recent episodes. We did our box office draft. That was a lot of fun. See how that all. Yeah, hopefully Andy wins, I guess. Maybe first year on the pod, rookie year. We'll see.
No.
Dave going for a three-peat. Or three out of 4.
Yeah.
And of course, our Week in Geek series. We had a pretty big one last time. Me and Dave sat down for about an hour talking about all the news. It took like 3 weeks since our last one. So check it out for us. So let's get into the series. Now, this one's not on the list. I just want to talk about it real quick. It's Fallout. It did kind of partly come out last year, and now the rest is coming out this year. Andy, are you watching Fallout currently?
Yeah, man. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I've never played the games.
Yeah, okay.
So I went into this a bit like The Last of Us. Never played The Last of Us. So going into watching them with a clean slate, no game bias or prejudice or anything like that. And yeah, really been enjoying it. So there's only like 2 episodes to go now. So
yeah, I still need to watch episode 6. I've seen the first 5, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. We all love the first season. I think it's really continuing that quality. And the Vegas stuff is really cool. I like the Vegas and the more backstory with the ghoul and his family.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the backstory almost probably a little bit more than like the current story. So
close.
And that news as well that what Fallout 5 is going to be canon to the events of the TV series.
I heard about that. It would be cool to get a Walton Goggins character in the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sick.
Dude, I saw a news article, what I thought was a news article on social media, and it was, breaking news, Walton Goggins has a severe injury to his spinal column, something. I'm like, oh, no. And then I keep reading, and it's from carrying the entire Fallout series on his back. And I was like, you got me in the first half there. But yes, he absolutely has. I don't know why I just turned into Barney there, but we're just going to keep rocking with this purple frozen. That's disgusting. That's disgusting what's happening. Just listen to my beautiful voice. But yeah, no, it's been great, man.
Better this way.
Walton Goggins has absolutely been killing it. I really don't even care about Vaults 31 through 33. That whole storyline, every time it switches back to that, it kind of takes me out of it. But other than that, the season's been great. Yeah, I would love to see a ghoul character, but it's just been fantastic. Episode 5 or 4, I forget which was my favorite, but it's been really good, man. I'm loving it.
Right. And some cool cameos this season. We had Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
What was the other one in the last episode? Was it Viserys? Was Viserys in one of the episodes?
Oh yeah, I can never remember his name, but obviously he was in Eternals, he was in Kenobi series, and lots of other things.
Camille and Johnny is in it.
Yeah.
But there's another one too. I mean, I always forget his name, and I always get it mixed up with the Canadian Prime Minister. Not Justin Trudeau, Justin Theroux. He's a Mr. House. Yeah, he's been a nice little addition to the show. Which, again, I didn't finish the video games until season 1. Season 1 made me start playing New Vegas. I finished it, and obviously with the plot of season 2, I'm stoked that that's the game I chose because we've seen so many awesome Easter eggs and nods to the game already in the first 6 episodes. And I think they've killed everything except Big Iron and the scene that they use for the iconic Big Iron Marty Robbins song. It's a song about a sheriff with a revolver on his hip, and the entire scene lacked a revolver and had Walton Goggins whipping people and shotgunning them, which was still a cool scene, but it felt like a little blasphemy there.
It's when I have to rely on other people to tell me the quotes from the video games or something that's connected to the video game. Like, I know you've not seen the latest one, Love, but there was a moment when they're going to potentially face off against something, and this guy turns around and goes, "I need to craft a weapon," and just grabs a fan. And that must be a video game reference.
Oh yeah, right.
There's a couple.
Some
Even when Shady Sands gets the bomb and it shows, I think it's episode 2 or something, the guy's wheeling in the nuke into the big city, and he keeps repeating the line, patrolling the Mojave Desert almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Well, that's a super common NPC line that you run across the entire game of New Mexico. You'll keep running across people who drop that same patrolling the Mojave Desert makes you wish there was a nuclear winter. So that was a big Easter egg there in that scene.
That's funny. So yeah, we'll be covering that show once it wraps up. So stay tuned. So let's move on to the first series on the list, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The first episode dropped last weekend. I actually just watched it today, right before the podcast started. Oh. But it's basically a century before Game of Thrones. Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg wander Westeros, encountering small conflicts that ripple into history. And just the like next on thing they show at the end of the episode, it kind of reminded me of everything that happens in the book, and I am so excited for this season. So I know, Andy, are you interested in this at all?
I'm going to let you and the floating voice talk about this because I'm not watching. I'm not watching this at all.
That's fair. Dave?
Yeah. Picture my face smiling, being very positive right now. No, I loved it. Obviously, we only have one episode. It's the longest of the season, which is a bummer at like 42 minutes, and the rest of the episodes are shorter than that. Feels very weird, but as we were talking about before we went live here, I think they've nailed everything to this point. They've nailed the egg. The tone has definitely shifted from your standard Game of Thrones. It's not as crass and rapey and dark. There's some aspects to it still. It's definitely not. It's not a Disney-fied show. It's you're still seeing some horrors and some pretty brutal. What did he call that? He starts talking about Lionel Baratheon, the Smiling Knight, starts talking about what they're going to do by basically putting a chair leg up his ass, and starts going into a pretty graphic description of what he's going to do to him. So it's not like it's a PG family friendly show, but they took out a lot of the hard to watch rape and whatnot from Game of Thrones. So I think that's a little bonus for the wider audience out there. I think it's going to do great. I think it's going to be more well received than House of the Dragon. I'm really excited for the next 5 episodes here. I just wish they were longer.
Me too. But the books are pretty short, so I'm sure it'll be 3 seasons of the same thing. But
yeah, 160 pages for the Hedge Knight, which is book 1. So
yeah. Well, we're excited for that. We'll be covering that as well once it's over. So stay tuned. Next, on January 27th, we have Wonder Man coming out. A couple trailers have dropped for this. An actor with superpowers navigates fame, heroism, and identity in a world where superheroics and celebrity brandings collide. So reportedly, the show leans heavily into the Hollywood satire, poking fun at the MCU from the inside. So I wasn't super interested in this show, but the latest trailer kind of got me intrigued. So Andy, will you be checking this one out?
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching it because they're dropping all the episodes at once, like they did with Echo and stuff. I don't know really a lot about this dude from the comics, to be fair, and it's not. The problem is, they haven't. This was done like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. They filmed this, so it's been a long time coming. The only thing that really interests me about it is Trevor. Obviously, Trevor from Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi returning for this. And the trailers haven't got me like super hyped up for it. The thing is, you hear such conflicting things, like he's going to be one of the most powerful superheroes around in the new MCU. All the reviews have just started dropping over the last 2 days, of like non-spoiler reviews, and they're giving it really high ratings and saying it's really fun, but it's really important as well for this character moving forward. And I'm just like, but they said the same shit about the Flash, so I can't trust them anymore. So I'm definitely still going to be watching out because it's MCU, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I just don't feel super hyped for it. I can't, like, it comes out the 27th, I think it is, or whatever it is, which is Oh, of
next
course,
week.
because it's America, so it's fucking Tuesday night for America, middle of the night for me on Wednesday morning. So I won't watch it until like Wednesday night to start with. But yeah, so I'll be watching it, but I'm just not like dying to get in there. It's not like it's Daredevil. So
Agreed. Dave?
Yeah. I had no anticipation for this. In fact, when they dropped the news for it, I thought it was pretty dumb. Like, why are we doing this? But the trailer kind of, yeah, like you said, Love, the last trailer kind of got me. The concept of it, I like it. It feels fresh. As long as it's not Chapek era filled, have that feeling of the Chapek era Disney shows, and we get a little bit branched out.
which is dangerous because it could be.
I have a
from when it
feeling
was
I'm
filmed.
frozen, looking like an idiot. Love's pulling his phone out. I hate this.
Just for the record, you're not. Your face is beautiful. Yeah, we can say it. It's all good.
Thanks. But I think it looks way more intriguing than I expected it to be. So I'm actually, I am going to watch it when it drops. I don't expect it to be Daredevil. I don't expect it to be Punisher. I don't expect it to be Loki. But I'm kind of surprisingly like, this could be a fun, entertaining 35-minute watch with some cool little Easter egg nods to the MCU, which most of the time they drop shows like that, I'm like, you're just fishing right now. You're just trying to get numbers up. You're just forcing crap out there. But I don't know. This one, I have a weirdly good feeling about it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's weird that they're doing an all episode drop because they did that for Echo, yet for like Ironheart, they did a week by week release. And yet for
Weird what
Wonder
they
Man,
pick and choose.
they're going back to an all episodes at once release.
It's never a good sign, really, when they do that either, or they aren't very hyped about it internally.
I mean, considering they've got nothing to push until March, so they could have released this a bit earlier, or just done like 2 episodes a week to get it over and done with before Daredevil kicks in at the start of March or the end of March, whenever it kicks in. So it just feels like dropping it all at once. They've got nothing else to fill the gap. Like it's just to maybe wet the beaks and get the MCU excited again. Because it's the start of a big year, really. You got this, Daredevil, Spider-Man, Doomsday. So it's just maybe to wet the beak and get the juices running again before we get into the 3 big ones for the year.
Speaking of wetting the beak, I think it could also be used in that for the mutant introduction into the MCU here, because we kind of get some hints in this trailer about how superpowers in general is kind of stigmatized in society now in the MCU. They're talking about the casting for this show, and one of the things he has to go through is like a lie detector saying, I do not have superpowers. So it almost feels like this is a way to kind of have the public already skeptical of anybody with superpowers, and then you bring mutants in, which that's obviously a very large part of their story with the public not trusting them. So I feel like we may be getting even breadcrumbs to that and stuff with social norms and social reactions to superheroes and mutants coming into the game.
I like it. Should we review that too? Want to do a Wonder Ram review? Keep it rolling?
Well, I've got some potential guests lined up to come and do it. So
there we go.
There you go. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think Greg said he was down for a Wonder Man episode too. So we probably will, just for the fun of it. There you go.
Next on the list, this will probably be part of the least anticipated. Monarch Legacy of Monsters. We added this last minute. Season 2. Oh, Andy, did you like the first season?
I mean, I love Godzilla stuff, and so I watched it. Like me and Dave reviewed it on my previous show, as we did all Godzilla stuff on my previous show. So it's okay. I'm not going to lie; it's not like it's the most anticipated series of the year, but it's one that I'm still going to be jumping on. I'm going to wait till all the episodes are out. I'm not going to do it week by week because I don't have an Apple TV subscription. But thanks to my mobile phone provider, I do have a 3-month free trial coming up. So I'm going to be jumping once all the episodes are out. I'll jump back on it. I'll knock them all out. I'll probably rewatch season 1, to be fair, and then jump in and do season 2, amongst with a few other bits that I want to watch on Apple at the moment as well. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching it. It's definitely on my list to get through.
I guess it's going to connect the dots between King of Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. So we're getting...
Yeah. I mean, it comes out because season 1 ended just before Godzilla vs. Kong, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it bridges the gap after that.
But that's what they said about season 1. They said season 1 was going to bridge the gap between what King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah. And there were points of that season where I really enjoyed it. I thought there was some really cool stuff. Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell being the same character, old and young versions of the same character, I thought was a super cool thing to do, and they both killed it. I just got a little annoyed with the sidetrack backstories. Yeah, we got into some backstories and storylines. It was like, I don't care at all about this person. This has nothing to do with the monsters. I want to know more about Godzilla or something else. Don't care about this person. We got like 3 episodes. But it's not my least anticipated because, you know, like we've been saying, this Godzilla story has pulled me in more than I expected that it would be over the last 5 years or so. And it's a Godzilla year. We got Godzilla -0 dropping in theaters. So, you know, watch a little warm up on the small screen. I don't know which comes first. I think -0 is in November. So that probably is coming last. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was going to be June for -0.
Is it? Maybe
I'm pretty sure when they dropped like the teaser for it said it was June.
Maybe I'm just immediately thinking back to -1 that came out in the later part. Let's see, -0. No, this says November 6th for -0. Yeah. Yep, November 3rd in Japan.
Maybe it had the American date on there that confused me again.
Yeah, that was it. It probably said 11/6 and you thought it was the 11th of June. That is absolutely what happened there. So
stupid Americans.
You know what? You don't get Greenland without. Oh, just kidding.
Oh God,
let's not go there. Next, moving on. This will be higher on the list. So, did I say after we talk about the series, we're gonna rank our least to most anticipated, and then do the same thing for the movies? Next is Daredevil: Born Again, season 2. Matt Murdock's war with Wilson Fisk escalates as Hell's Kitchen becomes a battleground for power, control, and moral compromise. And it says season 2 is supposed to be darker and more serialized with fewer standalone episodes and higher personal stakes. Dave, are you ready to jump back into Hell's Kitchen?
I'm ready, Freddie, man. I am ready. I haven't even been thinking about it much, honestly, since the first season dropped, but that's probably because it just dropped. It dropped in like March, didn't it? Of 2025.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. We didn't have to wait long for it. I think we're getting less Punisher, maybe not any. I don't recall what the news was behind that, which is always a bummer. But have you seen the sneak peek looks at that black Daredevil suit? You going to tell me we're not going to get some absolute peak moments from Daredevil with that suit? That thing's probably my favorite superhero suit in the MCU right now. And we got Jessica Jones coming back for this season, so it's going to pop off. I'm looking forward to it.
Andy? Agreed?
Let's
agree?
Fucking go! Yeah, I mean, the reports about Punisher have varied from everything from he had a much larger role in season 2 to he was going to play a bit part 2. He's not going to be in it at all because he's got his Punisher special coming out. So, you know, make your fucking mind up because the Punisher's my boy. So tell me what the fuck's going on. I don't care like about the Punisher special because that's the Punisher special. It's going to be up there anyway, but at least confirm whether he's in season 2. But yeah, Jessica Jones is back. Like the return of the Defenders, I'm excited for because I'm one of the few people in the world that love the Defenders Netflix series. I know a lot of people didn't, but so to get them back as well, super psyched for season 2. You know, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo's coming in to face off against Fisk. It's going to be mental.
Now, Andy, I want to ask you real quick because you're talking about Defenders, which on my rewatch, I actually really enjoyed the Defenders more on my second time around. But one of the Defenders, Luke Cage, I didn't like the Luke Cage series. As soon as, spoiler alerts, a certain character played by Mahershala Ali vacates the show, I stopped. I didn't finish season 1. I didn't like him that much in Defenders, but the actor Mike Colter did say that he teased a possible return. He talked about Kristen Ritter returning as Jessica Jones, and he said that there was some unfinished business still with Luke Cage. So, are you wanting to see him pop up in Daredevil? I guess is my question.
Oh yeah, I want to see all of them back. I want to see Finn Jones back as Iron Fist. I know people didn't care for it, and I know his series left it in a weird place as well, where he's technically not Iron Fist at the end of it because he no longer has that power. It went through 3 other people, I think, before the end of the series.
Spoiler alert.
If you've watched it, love, it's only been like 10 fucking years. Come on, man. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm super excited. I want to see them all back. I can't wait to see it. Like again, though, he was left in a weird place at the end of he had his second series, and then the last time we actually see him is in the end of season 3 of Jessica Jones, where he makes a little cameo. So where he's like, he's the kingpin of his own club and shit. So he's like a rich boy now running the club. So it'd be interesting to see where his character's gone in all that time. So yeah, I want to see him all back. I want to see the Defenders series. Fucking bring it on.
Fair enough.
I'm still pissed, to be fair, we didn't get Punisher in the Defenders. So I think he could have shown up right at the end for the battle with the hand.
Yeah, I thought he was going to.
All right, not to diverse from the series talk.
They still should, though. They could still totally toss him into a Defenders style kind of thing here. So this
bring it
could
back.
be the missed
Bring it
opportunity.
back.
Yeah,
Jack.
Yeah, bring it back, Jack.
All right, next we have The Boys, the final season, dropping April 8th. The final confrontation between the boys and the Seven pushes the world to the brink as truth, power, and survival collide. Cast interviews suggest, final season.
Yeah.
The cast suggests that the end is messy and permanent, with no clean victory for anyone. So, how do we see? Do we see this show having a happy ending, or do we just see Homelander standing tall as the United States burns?
Why don't you tell us, love? Because you haven't really chipped in much this episode. I want to hear what you're thinking.
What do you got?
Oh, there you go.
Boys expert.
We never covered the second half of the Boys season 4. Remember, they were going to do it, and then we never did.
Season 4 or season 3? Wasn't that season 3?
Is this season 4?
This is season 5.
This is season 5.
Oh my God, you're right. Season 3 was actually good. That's right.
Right. Season 4 was a letdown.
Yeah.
Not as strong as the first 3, but I do think they can land the plane. About the ending, I would definitely see a lot of deaths. I mean, Carl Urban ain't making it. Homelander probably ain't making it. Who else? I could see a Starlight going down, something like that.
Starlight won't. Fuck me. I mean, she won't. she don't go down.
No, keep going.
If it's anything like the comics, then Homelander's going out. He won't go out obviously in the same way as the comics, but
no,
he's definitely going down one way or another. Probably at the hands of Soldier Boy, I would imagine.
Okay.
Butcher would probably be the favorite to kill him, but I think it'll be at the hands of Soldier Boy.
You think is Soldier Boy alive?
Yeah. Did you not watch Gen V?
Was that in Gen V?
They showed him right at the end of Gen. Well, they showed him right at the end of Gen V as well. He's under the control of Homelander.
Right. Yeah.
Homelander's got
season
him frozen.
2?
Yes. Gen V season 2, Boys season 4. I think Boys season 4 even showed him in a cryo tank at the very end. Though.
Okay. It's been a while.
Yeah. No, he's out there, man.
And obviously he comes face to face with his cohort from Supernatural. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Jared
Padalecki or something.
Yeah, Jared Padalecki.
Padalecki, something like that. That was close enough.
And they already
made up.
They've brought in like 4 supernatural people already.
Oh, it's because Eric Kripke, isn't it? He
Right.
did Supernatural, so he's brought shitloads of them through for the boys. So, but I am really excited for this season. I know not everyone was a fan of season 4, but I think the boys have still maintained a fairly high quality, and I know some of it is. Gen V season 2 has kind of flipped it a bit because obviously you had the end of season 4, then Gen V season 2 has carried on that rhetoric with like the supes being up against the humans, so to speak, and so it's laid a thicker groundwork of what we can expect in this season. But it seems like I think they're going to maybe break out the originals boys pretty quickly from their from captivity, and then it's just going to be a season. I'm expecting a lot of death, as we do get in the boys. But obviously, sometimes they lie to us. But Carl Urban did say in a recent interview that he's like, you can expect in season 1 2 or 3 good deaths of big characters from the start. Nice. So I hope they kick it off fucking immaculately, and it's going to set the tone for the rest of the season.
Homelander
it's due. It's due. Like they I don't know. Frenchie, I feel like I've been waiting on Frenchie to die for a minute. Not that I want him to, but just because storyline wise, it's been like, oh, he's a goner. I thought him and Kimiko both were going to be goners. But yeah,
Frenchie's odds on to die, definitely.
Yeah, he's up there.
I'm an A-Train.
Huey will survive.
A-Train.
Yeah,
the Deep's going. I think Homelander kills the Deep. To be honest,
I was gonna say I feel like they're gonna leave Deep to survive. Weirdly enough, I don't know why, but I feel like they're gonna do that. But yeah, season 4 just took a lot of the wind out of my boys' sails. As far as season 3 was great. I mean, we got Soldier Boy introduced. We got so much crazy stuff. Season 2 was great with Stormfront. the entire face-off at the end of season 2 with Homelander tearing through the soldiers, the girls fight, which was actually incredible with Maeve, Starlight, and Kamiko fighting against Stormfront. It was great. Season 3 was great. Incredible finale with the face-off in Vought Tower. And then season 4, man, I don't know. We spent a lot of time on Frenchie's boyfriend plot points there and the gross Spider-Man knockoff. Just a lot of gross stuff in season 4 with not a lot of like significant, satisfying aspects of it. Even the end where, you know, spoiler alert, Butcher throws out the tentacles and kills off a main character. Even that wasn't a cool finale to me. It didn't really do a lot, especially compared to season 2 and 3. So
are you telling me you didn't enjoy the flying sheep?
Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy the cannibalistic flying sheep in the barn. That did not quite do it for me. And that was one of the peaks of the season. Like, I hate Sister Sage. I hate all the new characters they brought in season 4. I can't stand them. So I don't know. Season 5 will be better. It can't be worse than season 4. So I'm going to be watching it. It's just, it dropped off on my list as far as excitedness goes.
Right. And they killed my girl, old head popper.
Yeah, she was chill. Did you know
she's dating Huey in
Jack
real life?
Quaid is dating. Yeah, I had no idea they were dating in real life. That's hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, because they met on the show, didn't they? So
yeah,
baby.
I'm not gonna be dating Annie now, huh?
All right, moving on. The next show, we actually just got a trailer for this. What, 2 days ago? And that is Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord. So Darth Maul builds his criminal empire in the galaxy's underworld while battling rivals Jedi and his own obsession with vengeance. So this trailer was awesome. I mean, I love the animation. Like every time from Clone Wars, and then you get Clone Wars season 7, and then you get Tales of the Jedi and Sith, and now this. It just keeps getting better every time. It's obviously, you know, we know Maul's ending in Rebels and how things go, but I do think this is kind of something we wanted to see in Solo, where he was teased at the end of Solo and he's running Crimson Dawn. What's he doing with this criminal underworld? And maybe this show will actually kind of show what we missed in a Solo sequel. So I'm very excited. I always love Darth Maul. Love the double-bladed lightsaber. I know he's going to be some great action scenes with him. And then there's like the Emperor ties where the Emperor wants him killed. So I'm sure there'll be a tie-in with that. And there's a couple new characters. Like there's a couple new Jedi who maybe escaped Order 66.
More, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dave, are you ready to dive back into the Clone Wars era?
Yeah. Upon the news, I didn't really care, to be honest. And I'm a huge Maul fan, but it felt like just kind of a last minute stab to get some more Maul fans in.
In the Tales of the Underworld, it was kind of underwhelming. Tales of the Sith was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah. Know. So, I mean, but part of the reason those were so underwhelming was because of the main characters they were focusing on. So bringing Maul back into the picture, you know, that should do it. But again, I wasn't like crazy about it. But then that trailer dropped. And we got that music, and we got Sam Witwer's beautiful voice, and the lightsabers, and the Inquisitors. And now I will say one thing with the animation: the lightsabers were looking a little Kylo Ren-ish. They were very
broken, or
chaotic,
static.
Yeah, and it might just be an animation point, and that's a very small nitpick because every part of the trailer, animation wise, I thought it looked great. Yeah, and we get the tease with the Emperor wanting him dead. So like, if the Inquisitors can't do the job, is Vader coming into the picture in the finale? And I know everybody goes to Vader for every single Star Wars show, and I'm not going to be disappointed if he doesn't show up. But it just makes you think the Emperor's goal is to take out Maul. I don't think the 11th brother and Marok are going to do it. So who's going to be sent to take out Maul? So it's cool. The one thing, last thing I'll say,
you don't think the two Inquisitors that are going to show up and kill Maul, who we know survives for another 10 years?
I don't think they're going to do it. No. One of them gets revived. It's fine. We'll get into that later. But my only last thing I'll say about that is you mentioned the Solo thing, which we thought was so dope when the movie dropped and we saw Maul. At least I loved it. As every year passes, the more I look back on that, the more I think it's dumb. It just made no sense.
So pointless.
Why did he ignite the saber for Kira? Like, why was she knows who he is?
It's aura farming.
The whole scene, when you look back at it, it's like, none of that made any sense. It was just forced in there, and it worked at the time for me, but it's just funny to think of now. But yeah, I'm excited.
So Andy, I know you're not the biggest Dave Filoni fan here on the podcast. You've said those words on a couple different Instagram and
Is
TikTok
that not a
posts.
Filoni poster behind him? I don't know.
Yeah. I know. Andy, are you excited for Darth Maul?
Yes and no. For some of the reasons you mentioned, for other reasons, the fact that the animation does look crisp and beautiful, and it looks like it's going to be beautifully done. The trailer showed it to look a bit more savage than I thought it was going to be. Plenty of people getting cut down, even showing it like slicing through the middle of people when he threw his lightsaber in that arc. And stuff. So it looks, if it's a bit more brutal than like, say, some of the, I mean, we've had some brutal stuff in some of the Clone Wars episodes, but some of it is obviously because it's a kid show, it's done off screen, or there's, as traditional Star Wars, there's no real blood that we see in these things. But the fact that it looks like they're going to show a bit more savagery in this from Maul. The things that bring me down about it is, again, it looks like more survivors from Order 66. Like, before Disney took over, there was like 3 Jedi that survived, and now there's about 100. And it's like, okay, so Palpatine has not done as good a job as he thought he had. People keep surviving, and they keep finding different survivors, and I'm like, can we get over that? And just, it was supposed to be such a big event, and was supposed to be so few survivors, and we keep adding more to the lore now, and that annoys me a little bit. It's not something that's a deal breaker, but it just does annoy me a little bit. But again, I treat this like some other shows and films that we've had from Star Wars, where it's like, who was really desperate for this? Like, I know some people were, and some people wanted to connect the dots from where the last bit of info we had it in was basically like, after he's captured by Sidious in Clone Wars, and then there's obviously a whole novel about comic about how he escaped, and then we don't really see him on screen until Rebels, and so we needed. It's fine to have some information to fill in the gap, but is this something we desperately needed? Because again, I'm gonna have the 2-minute rant about it. It's just Filoni pleasing himself, in the fact that he can't let go of his own fucking shit. He's in a corner somewhere having a congratulatory wank over the fact that he's managed to get another show out of one of his characters. And he's the co-president of Lucasfilm and the chief creative officer. He's going to drive all these characters into the ground until we're all sick of them. So I'm just worried that that's what's going to happen. But Sam Witwer saves the fucking day. Let me end on a good note. Sam Witwer saves the fucking day because his voicing as Maul is so fucking good. Like, I'm currently on a run through of Supergirl, the CW series. I'm watching that on Amazon at the moment, and on season 4, Sam Witwer's the main bad guy of the season. And so I'm just sat there, just imagining he's covered in red and black, and just listening to his voice instead of watching the tragic episodes of Supergirl. So excited to see Sam Witwer back. He can come back all day long. I hope we get him in other series as the Sun in the next series of Ahsoka, perhaps. That would be epic. So I'll end it on that note that I'm super excited that Sam Witwer's back again.
I love it.
I get Andy's point there for sure. It feels forced too, but yeah, I was very more skeptical with it. The trailer just kind of was like, I guess I will watch this. It looks pretty dope, but it does
Star Wars.
The driving force behind it feels pretty forced doing a Maul show at this point, animated. But have either of you seen Dexter season 1?
No.
Right, so Sam Witwer is a serial killer that pops up on that. And he, of course, as always, he's great, and it's a totally different role, obviously, but he does a great job. He's a talented man. We'll say it.
The thing is, it doesn't really matter whether I like or don't like what Filoni's doing. It's Star Wars. I'm still going to watch it. That's the main thing. And as JD said, whether it's like Fate of the whatever's playing in the background,
one or the other,
Jewel of the something or other. It's Star Wars, and it's Star Wars music, and it's lightsabers, and it's Sith, and it's Jedi, and this is the basis of all Star Wars. Whether it's about the criminal underworld or not, at the heart of this story looks to be Jedi and Sith, and more dealing with life after his lifelong enemies have been defeated, and then a Jedi that's now dealing with a world with no Jedi, and what temptation that can bring moving forward. So that's exciting, at least that part of the story. It looks like core Star Wars, its story hidden underneath a criminal underworld sort of haze.
Right. I'm going to give Dave Filoni like a 5-year grace period. And I think it's okay to force in like 6
It's
episodes.
never okay to force it in, lab. Never.
No.
No means no, brother.
No. If it's a little 6-episode animated series, like that's okay if he's gonna go back to the well for that. But once like Mando and Grogu comes out, then they're obviously gonna do the Mandoverse movie to wrap that all up. After that's over, and his next movie is like Ahsoka 3, or like then it's like gonna be like, okay, bro, now we need to move on. But until then, I'm gonna let him finish his story.
Just on that note, I mean, the news come out in the last few days as well that he's potentially cancelling the Thrawn Endgame movie because he didn't want to do that. He was being told to do that by his previous superiors, and now that he's the man in charge, he can scrap that because he wants to fucking milk his characters till they die. So he's gonna just. See, that is the genuine rumor that's come out the last few days that he's going to scrap the Thrawn Endgame that's going to wrap up the Mandoverse, and so he can just do these characters for longer.
You know what, Andy? I think he's scrapping it because he wants to move on and just kill those characters.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
right there.
yeah.
I
That's
think
exactly
that's
why
why
he's
he's
doing it.
scrapping. I didn't hear that
got
news
me.
until
You
now.
got me
but
there.
that does sound a bit damning.
I'm telling you, I should be co-president.
Right?
I trust
Damn
you.
it.
I know how to
I
move on
trust
because
Star Wars in hand.
we're never getting out of the Skywalker era. I'm telling you now, because that James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie's been put on hold. Like just
And now they're saying the Simon Kinberg trilogy will have Rey as
It's
a pretty.
Ray, who's the main character.
Not
because
main
we
character.
need a Rey
we're going to
movie
be
and a Rey
stuck in the
trilogy.
same 80 years forever.
Well, and it sounds like Hunt for Ben Solo is like back on the map too, which is still in the Skywalker era. And to be honest, I don't really care much about it. It'd be
We know
cool, I
what
guess,
happens.
but I don't really care. Like I don't.
I was
don't.
excited when I first heard about it, and then the more I look at it and goes, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I just think they missed the mark on Kylo. They had a cool character. They kind of missed the mark there. I think it's time to move on and
It's not
try
even
again.
Kylo, it's Ben Solo, isn't it? So-
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Maul looks awesome.
Love? Yeah, Love. Are you looking forward to it?
Mm.
I started off with it. Yeah, I'm excited
Oh,
for it.
my
I'm
bad,
ready. I'll
my
be
bad.
watching
It's
it.
been a while. I've been talking about
Yeah.
it for 10 minutes. I forgot how.
Hey,
it
we had to
started.
get our Star Wars talk, and we have another Star Wars topic coming up later.
Oh,
Ugh.
God.
But House
Oh.
of the Dragon, not a confirmed release
Hot
date,
D.
but it does say summer. Hot D, yes. The Targaryen Civil War explodes as betrayals multiply, and dragon on dragon action, baby, threatens to tear
Baby.
Westeros apart. This season reportedly includes the largest dragon battle yet. So,
Oh, yeah.
season 2, a little disappointing. The best episode was episode 3, and then the last 5 was it 3 or 4? 3 or 4.
I think it was
And then
4.
And then the last 4 episodes were just weird, and they left on a big cliffhanger when that battle should have been the finale, but now it's going to be the premiere or the second episode of this season. So we're back on track. Hopefully this season picks it up. I still think there's a ton of great characters. There's a great story to tell. So I hope they still 4 seasons is probably good. I don't think we need to go 5. Maybe just do one more after this. Andy, do you partake in the hot D?
Did you say that they said it's going to be the biggest dragon battle ever?
Dragon on dragon, yes, battle.
I didn't realize they got footage of my ex and my mum arguing. To be fair, but I don't watch House of the Dragon. It's in that Game of Thrones thing, isn't it? I don't watch, unfortunately, any of that yet. Maybe one day when I
That's
have
true.
some more
HBO,
time on
You're-
my hands.
So you're countrymen.
right?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they're all amazing. Some of them are boring. No, it's one of those ones that it's just not been at the top of my list to get to, and we all have time at a premium for the most part nowadays. So my focus is elsewhere. It's one day I will probably get to them because I do want to sort of rewatch Game of Thrones at some point.
And there's no HBO Max in the UK, right?
Not yet. Rumor has it it's
Exactly.
coming in March.
There you go.
Finally,
No excuses.
I might be able to watch Creature Commandos for fucking
There you go.
months. But yeah, so maybe eventually I'll get round to it. It's not on my list right now.
That's okay. Dave,
Well, if you do start it, we expect updates. We expect reactions to
I've got it on the same time
frame.
frame as Lub watching the Netflix Marvel series. So
Fair enough. About half of that series left too. So, did you finish season 2, Lub? of Daredevil?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
All right.
finished.
You
season
got
2.
one season left. Okay. All right.
I joined the podcast before he finished watching it, so I got to review it as a guest.
Woo.
I'm
getting to it.
Look, I'll start with the negatives first. Season 2 is weaker than season 1. We've got a lot of drama between George R.R. Martin and Ryan Condal, the showrunner who was hired by George R.R. Martin initially. Some weird news coming out of there as far as Ryan Condal essentially just stopped taking George's calls. And now instead of George being in the writing room, George is now sending emails with his ideas, and it's being screened before it even makes it to Ryan Condal, which is a wild dynamic for the creator of this entire story. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm skeptical coming into season 3. And that's also part of the reason why I expect A Night of the Seven Kingdoms to be better. But don't get me wrong, dragon on dragon action, largest dragon scenes we've ever seen, all that. I'm still hyped for it. I'm still like season 2, episode 4, the Red Dragon and the Gold, the fight above Rook's Rest, was it? Incredible. So I'm still stoked to see some of the absolute peak quality TV that we've ever seen. I'm just concerned about the overall quality of the season as a whole. So see how it goes. I know there's going to be some amazing sequences, but I'm pretty skeptical for the quality overall.
That's fair. All right, let's keep it rolling. We still got we have a couple more shows and 12 movies to talk about. Lanterns comes out mid to late 2026. As it get delayed, it was supposed to come out maybe in like a couple months. The Green Lanterns investigate a grounded Earth-connected mystery that slowly reveals a cosmic conspiracy described as True Detective in Space, prioritizing tone and mystery over nonstop action. So I'm very excited for this show. I think it could really turn around things, but keep the hype going for the DCU, with Supergirl coming out earlier in the year as well. 2 great actors for the main leads. Everything JD's told me about like the Green Lantern and the Lantern Corps and all like the shit that goes on between them, because I've never even seen like the Ben Affleck movie. I've never read a comic or anything. I don't know anything about Green Lantern really. But
you mean the Ryan Reynolds movie?
Well, there's
Ryan
no Ben
Reynolds.
Affleck movie.
Ben Affleck, he was Daredevil, right?
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, same quality. Yeah,
same quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for this. Andy, are you ready for DC?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this. It's a shame we got delayed because that just maybe drop some hints that there's some Lantern action in maybe Supergirl that leads into it. So that's why they decided to delay it. But yeah, I am excited to get on this side of it. To bring in one of the major players of the Justice League in a TV show is a bit different as well, and I'm excited for that because I like the longer story. Give us a bit more time to go over stuff. As long as it's not like half an hour episodes, I'd be more than happy. And I'm definitely down for this.
Dave, are you there?
I am still here. Things were getting choppy. We cut the camera feed. I am above you all looking over. I'm stoked, man. True Detective season 1 still stands as possibly my favorite season of any television series ever. It's incredible. So when you start saying it's going to be a True Detective style show on HBO, and then we've got Kyle Chandler, we've got Aaron Pierre, and Nathan Fillion is showing up as Guy Gardner in this. So you've got a solid cast. It's going to be I think it'll be the best appearance of Nathan Fillion because I think it's going to be written better than James Gunn wrote him in Superman. No offense, but I feel like he's got more potential than James Gunn used him in that movie. So I'm really excited for the show, and it has huge, the word just skipped right out of my brain. It's going to be huge repercussions and just the
consequences.
The potential of the DCU moving forward, I feel like hinges on this show. Like this show could kill it, and it could really catapult the expectations for the DCU. Or it could be garbage, and after Superman and then this, I think that's going to be a rough start for the DCU if this doesn't land. But I expect this to be top 3 shows of the year. Oh, sorry, damn it.
DC being on HBO definitely helps it too, because I feel like HBO prestige series always get kind of a boost in people's minds.
For sure. The higher quality.
I think the reason why it needs to be so good and why it's important is because of the lack of movement with other characters in the new DCU so far. So the fact that they've obviously we had Creature Commandos kick off, and then obviously you did have Peacemaker that kind of morphed into the DCU from the DCEU. But you take that aside, you've got Superman followed by Supergirl followed by the sequel of Superman, and the only other film in that time is Clayface, which is we've already discussed on the show previously. It's a bit of a weird one to throw in there. So really, this is like the only other major character in like 4 years that's going to show up outside of the Superman family. And so it's important that this hits a note and keeps people intrigued, because we're still getting the Superman family for the next couple of years before we get any other sort of DC heroes. Because Clayface is technically a villain, or if they play it off as an anti-hero, like Sony tried to do with Venom, I'm not really sure how they're going to do that if they make that mistake. So yeah, this is why Lanterns is actually more important than people think, because it has to break up the element of the Superman family and keep people tagged into the DCU.
Yeah. And the last thing I would say about it is just, if this lands, if this does great and it gets great critical reception, that opens up so much for the DCU, because now the Lanterns are established. The Lanterns are a popular pop culture type of character that people are knowing now more. And there are so many storylines stemming out of the Green Lanterns, which obviously JD's not on here. He could attest to if you were here. But if the Lanterns lands and people are loving Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, like, that could open up so many cool pathways for the DCU that'll be successful because this show was successful. So yeah, I agree. There's a lot riding on it for sure.
Love it. All right, 2 quick TBD series. There's not confirmed dates yet, but we have Spider Noir. This is the animated 1930s Spider-Man in New York.
It's animated?
No, it's not.
I thought it was a live action.
It's live action with Nicolas Cage, isn't it?
Yeah.
My bad. Because it's voiced by Nick Cage, who voiced him in the Into the Spider-Verse series.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where. And when you see the pictures, it shows like him from Into the Spider-Verse. So I got a little confused there.
It does look
But impressive cast with Brendan Gleeson and Lamorne Morris. He's a comedian.
Oh.
If you know him if you saw him.
Winston. New Girl.
Winston. There you go. And then we have Blade Runner 2099, continuing the story of Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. Follows a woman named Cora Hunter Schafer and a Blade Runner named Olwen Michelle Yeoh, and they discover a vast conspiracy in dystopian Los Angeles. And so either one of these tickle your fancy?
Not bothered about Blade Runner simply because I haven't watched the 2 films. So it's low on my list. It's not Star Wars or Marvel. It's low down. It's not.
Denis Villeneuve though.
Yeah, maybe so, but it's still low on my
Ryan
list.
Gosling.
So I'm not. It's not something I'll get around to before I've seen the films. Spider Noir, yeah, I'm kind of excited for it because they're releasing 2 versions. They're releasing the black and white noir version, and they're going to release a color version. So you can take your pick of what you want to watch. But this could be funny. Spider Noir, Nick Cage doing it. My wife unfortunately loves Nick Cage, so we're going to be watching that regardless.
Nice, Dave.
So yeah, looking at the black and white photos of it, it gives strong Sin City vibes. If you've ever seen that movie, no, I don't really care about it if I'm being fully honest. And it's odd that you have a 62-year-old dude playing Spider-Man. Curious how that one's going to kind of play out. I know it's not web swinging through New York and everything. It's a little bit more grounded in gun wielding Spider Noir. It's a detective mystery, but I don't care much for it. I'm not excited for it or anything. Maybe I'll watch it, but just as much chance I don't.
What do you mean, Sang? All right, so real quick, let's give our rankings from least anticipated to most anticipated. You 2 go first. I'll be right back. Dave, kick it off.
All right, my top 5 anticipated series here for me. Lanterns at number 1, like we said, a lot of writing on that. Knights of the Seven Kingdom, it kind of is cheating because we've already gotten episode 1, but that's my second. I have that above Daredevil. I really feel like this is going to be a solid 6-episode season. Daredevil Born Again season 2 at number 3. House of the Dragon season 3 at number 4, strictly because of the budget. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. Maul Shadow Lord right below that. Wonder Man below that, above The Boys season 4, actually, believe it or not.
Ooh.
And then below that, Legacy of Monsters season 2, Blade Runner 2099, and Spider Noir at the bottom.
Interesting. Daredevil at 3 though. What have you been drinking today? Jesus, man.
Lanterns, man.
Did Dave do it in the wrong order?
He went from most anticipated to least.
Oh,
I said
maybe
least
I did
to
that.
most, dude. Come on.
Well, you know, when you leave the studio, you know,
Yeah.
you don't get to call.
I know.
So going from most to least anticipated. Going from least to most, obviously the ones I'm not going to watch. So, series. It says on my list here, it's series Night of the Seven. That's just what Love wrote it as. So,
I was
Night
going
of the Seven
quick.
Kingdoms, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Blade Runner 2099, and Hot D at the bottom for me because I'm not watching them. Then after that, probably Wonder Man, Spider Noir are probably joint above, probably in that place there. Then Monarch Legacy of Monsters, Lanterns at number 4, most anticipated. 3, we're going to go with Maul. 2, The Boys, and 1, Mr. Matt Murdock Daredevil.
Wow.
The Boys at 2. Okay.
I like it.
I'm psyched for it. I'm
I
psyched for
see
it.
how much you like those giant wieners and exploding ball sacks. I got you.
What were your top 3, Dave?
Top 3: Lanterns, number 1; Night of the Seven Kingdoms, number 2; Daredevil Born Again, number
Okay.
3.
Okay. I like it. So at the bottom, I have Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Probably not going to watch that. Then we have Spider Noir, Blade Runner 2099, Wonder Man. I put Maul next because animated a little shorter. Then we went with The Boys final season, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Daredevil at 3 as well. Sorry, Andy. And Lanterns at number 2. And then we have House of the Dragon, number 1, just because of it's most anticipated, not what I'm going to think is the best, because it really has to be good. And it's the show I'm probably most invested in. Maybe The Boys would be second, but those are the 2 that I've watched the most so far. You know what I mean? So
I'm surprised you had Daredevil that high, to be honest, for somebody who didn't finish Daredevil's Netflix series.
Oh my God.
Having it number 3. I
No.
was glad you had it that high. Andy was upset it was that low, but
That was my
glad
little
you had it
walk off,
that
by the way.
high.
If you would.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was good.
Well, Born Again season 1 was really good. So I'm excited for a good, solid Marvel show.
Sorry, because I walked off. What was your top 3?
Hot D was number 1, then Lanterns, then Daredevil.
Oh, you're both waste, man.
I know. That's okay. Let's move
Andy
on
hates-
to the movie
Hates supporting
theater.
his countrymen with the House of the Dragon production.
know.
It's fine.
He doesn't like Harry Potter or Game of Thrones. Like, revoke his
Jeez
UK
Louise.
card.
Honestly,
And you don't like Peaky Blinders? It's in.
I never said that.
Birmingham, man.
I just said I've never said I hate Peaky Blinders. I've just never
Guy
watched
doesn't
it.
like Star Wars.
I've never watched it.
I can't hate something I've not watched. I mean,
Well,
You
you
should
kind
check
of
it out though.
House of the Dragon. It seems like.
and to be fair, Harry Potter sucks ass. Let's move on.
I'm not going to fight that one.
Let's not go down that road right now.
Books are better.
So movies first. So we said fandom and fandom adjacent. There's a couple very fandom adjacent movies in here, but we're still going to talk about it. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. This is like a direct sequel to the one that came out last year, which was an absolute abomination. Dave, did you finish it or watch it? The new one?
Which one?
28 years later?
No, because Netflix locks it from me, even though
Oh,
I have an
that's right.
account. Because Netflix is so generous that you pay to have their subscription, but then they lock certain movies.
Now, Andy, this is another UK classic. Have you seen 28 Days Later or 28
I've
Weeks
seen all
Later?
of them. I've seen
Okay.
all of them.
Did you like the new one?
No,
It was bad, right?
I mean it's supposed to be a zombie film, and apart from the swinging Dick Alpha, there was barely any zombies in it.
And the kid's
so-
dumb. The kid's such a dumb character.
Yeah,
I hated
this
that
turned
kid.
into more like a spiritual journey about him accepting the fact that his mum has to die and dealing with like death in life and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not here for the spiritual journey. I want to see fucking people running away from zombies trying to eat their nutsack. So fucking crack on. Like,
Yeah.
don't need all this spiritual bullshit. Like Ralph Fiennes did a good job.
Agreed.
He acted really well in it, but yeah,
So
this was
random.
supposed to be a zombie film, and it wasn't a zombie film for me.
And how about that scene at the end with the tracksuit mafia?
I mean, you guys don't understand what this is referencing. And
Okay.
for a British person, it's both hilarious and tragic at the same time. So
Okay.
if you want to laugh, look up a guy called Jimmy Savile and his story.
Okay.
that's what it's referencing. And if you saw any TikTok videos where like Americans were dressing up as those characters to go and watch this second film, and British people pleading with them not to, there's a very good reason for that.
Not a good guy.
Interesting.
No.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
He's like he was a host of lots of British shows, of like kid shows and other shows from the 70s, 80s, 90s onwards, and then turned out to be a massive paedophile.
There it is. Yeah. I saw that one coming.
So these outfits were based on him as like a poking fun and a joke and shit. And then when you see Americans dressing up as him to go and watch the film, you're like, don't dress up as a paedophile. You know, it's as bad as dressing up as. Well, I'm not even going to say any other names to be fair. To
good advice
so.
to go with. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's the outfits are based on that character. But in terms of like, unfortunately, 20 years later did not get me excited to go and watch Bone Temple, and the fact that I'm not gone to the cinema to watch it, and I don't intend to. I will probably watch it once it comes onto Amazon or Netflix. I'm not wasting money going to the cinema to watch this film.
I'm not making that mistake again.
Can I ask, is Ralph Fiennes' character like in much of 28 years later? Is he kind of like a 10-minute character?
He's in a chunk. No, he's in it
like he shows up like an hour plus into the movie. He shows up.
He shows up about halfway through, but he's in a significant part of the second half of the film. And then
it's a very weird part. I don't know.
Part of the trailer were the only parts that really intrigued me, if I'm being fully honest. Aaron Taylor Johnson a little bit, but seeing Ralph
he was
bad.
That's what annoyed me as well, is they advertise it like it's an Aaron Taylor Johnson led film. He's in it at the beginning and then not in it for pretty much the entire rest of the film.
And he doesn't die.
No, he doesn't die.
He doesn't die. He just fucks off. Like, he's gone.
Great.
Because he's a dickhead as well in the film. Like, he's a bad dad, he's a dickhead. And then after the first like 20 minutes, he shows up again at the end for like a little cameo, and then that's it. So the trailer plays it like he's a major role in this film, and it's all about him and his son, and he's fucking not in it for like 3/4 of the film.
Yeah. I guess, and his son just takes his mom across the bridge into London or whatever, where all the zombies are, to try and save
viruses. Classic.
Like, dude. Dumbass.
And the last thing I'll say, I was excited just to get more explanation about how the rage virus survived 28 years.
Yeah, me too. Because they completely
out. And I heard they didn't explain that.
Get all the way off their back about it,
bro. Okay? Like, that's the only reason I was like, oh, nice, a little explanation to this whole thing from 28 days later. You know,
yeah, they established in the first two films that it has a set period before the zombies starve and then it dies out.
Yeah,
and they completely threw that out the window and just made up their own rules on this one.
Well, and they kind of talked about that in 28 weeks later too. I thought they both were kind of suggesting that there was a timeline. They had to continue to eat to survive. And if they're only trapped in one area, how are they continuing to eat to survive 28 years later?
That's a good sequel.
So,
28 weeks later.
It's panned a little bit as well, and I thought it was good.
I liked it.
I just watched it for the first time within the last year, and it was pretty good.
Because the only thing they address in 28 years later, from 28 weeks later, is the fact that at the end of 20 weeks later, you see that the copter has crashed in like France, and the zombies are running along the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower, yep.
They very quickly address that at the start of the film with like a little monologue, and then they just act as if the rest of it hasn't happened.
Yeah, they didn't like.
That makes me not want to watch it now.
Seems like AI wrote the movie or something. It was weird.
It's not a good film. It's not a good film, unfortunately. Like, so yeah, I'm not really bothered about Bone Temple at all. I know it's out now, and I've heard some good reviews on it. Like Lee over at Lights Camera Rant, who can sometimes be a bit nice about films because he's a nice guy, said it was really, really good. But I'm still not convinced enough to go and watch it, so I don't give a fuck.
He doesn't want to lose that early screening privilege.
Yeah, true. He wants the invites to everything, isn't it?
No, I'm just messing. I like Lee. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 2. So, Earthrealm's champions finally enter the Mortal Kombat tournament, the thing we were waiting for from the first movie. Alliances fracture and the fate of the realms is decided in brutal combat. This sequel reportedly features more tournament structure, more fatalities, and expanded roles from classic fan favorite characters, not non. So, the first one came out and got hit by COVID pretty bad. I think it came on Max in theaters the same day, one of those things.
Yeah.
It was good. There were some moments that I liked, but overall, it was a little corny, a little cheesy, but you do expect that from the movie. I think this could be better than the first one just because of the fact that there's actually a Mortal Kombat tournament in it, which is kind of the whole point of the game in the movie. So, you saw the first one, correct, of course, and you ready for the second one?
Yeah, enjoyed the first look. It's Mortal Kombat. It's not going to be the Odyssey. It's not going to be Dune. It's Mortal Kombat. So I thought the first one was a fun watch. Obviously, like you said, we didn't get a tournament, but we did see some cool fight scenes, saw some cool fatalities. The original characters were all done much better than the original movie. That's for sure. It's not a high bar, but it was done better. The already established Mortal Kombat characters. They brought in an original character. I forget what his name was already because he was so forgettable, but that was probably the worst part of the movie. It was the ancestor of Scorpion. But yeah, overall, it was a fun movie, and Kano was great. And I thought Kano was cooked, and apparently he's coming back in the second movie. So we got Kano. That's fun. We got Johnny Cage, obviously we got our boy Carl Urban coming to portray him. So I'm expecting some.
So excited he cut off.
Andy?
I've not seen the first one.
What?
Again, it's one of those ones that's floated on my list for a while and I never got around to watching it on Netflix. The cast of the second one makes me want to go and watch the first one so I can watch the second one. Again, it's not one I'm going to probably see at the cinema. I will probably wait till it's on on demand somewhere to watch it. But yeah, I haven't seen the first one, so I'm not rushing to see it, but the cast of the second one makes me want to go and watch the first one so I can then see the second one. Because I remember playing the Mortal Kombat games as a kid, and so I have some nostalgia for it. So yeah, it's not going to be my most anticipated, but at the same point, I will get around to watching it at some point.
I like the OG from the 90s, not the Annihilation. That movie's awful. But the first one with Shao Kahn and Luke, or Shao Kahn. And
you
Luke
had it,
Kang.
Shao Kahn. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good movie. I like that movie a lot.
Good
for what it is. For what it is.
Debatable word, but it's a classic. It's a classic 90s movie. Yeah. Where did I get cut off? What was the last thing I said before I dropped there?
You were talking
unfortunately right at the end.
Oh.
It was something like you're talking about Carl Urban, Johnny Cage, the cast of this movie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm expecting a fun hour and 40-minute movie with some solid action sequences, some funny one-liners, but not a quality movie. And again, the first movie, Andy, I think you turn your brain off, you watch it, there's some fun scenes. Forgive me, I forgot the guy, the name who plays Scorpion, but he's in Shogun. He's in every possible Japanese
samurai
era movie piece or anything like that. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he's great in it in the first one. He's not in it much. So it's just one of those movies you turn on. It's a fun watch, but it's not good. It's not going to get an 8 out of 10 by any means, but I think they did a good job with Mortal Kombat 1. And I think the second one will be just as entertaining. It's a solid 7 out of 10 action movie type of deal.
Let's talk about the movie that Dave stole from JD in the box office draft. Pretty messed up you did that.
He stole something from me.
Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling, an astronaut, wakes up alone on a spacecraft with no memory, only to realize he's humanity's final hope to stop an extinction-level cosmic threat using science, problem-solving, and an unexpected ally. So early screenings chatter say the emotional core, especially the astronaut's relationship with the second lead, is testing extremely well. This seems like a movie that could blow up. Solid cast. It looks, everyone loves the book. It's a very famous book. Andy, you ever read the book?
I hadn't even heard of the book until my wife had mentioned to me about this film coming out and that she loved the book. So I decided that it was going to be worth looking up about what's going on, and everyone's abandoning me. It's fine. I'll just talk to myself.
I'm here still.
Okay.
I'm here.
I was just like, Dave's gone, Lub's gone. I'm just left by myself. It's okay. I've hosted solo. It's all good. Sorry, we were just saying that David gone, Lub had gone. I was chatting to myself. It was fine.
Sorry, take the dog out.
So I never knew about this film until my wife had told me that this film was coming out and it was based on a famous book that I'd never heard of. And so I looked a bit more into it. The synopsis of it sounds really interesting. Obviously saw the trailers for it. I've become a much more fan of Ryan Gosling in the last few years. I didn't like his early career stuff, but his stuff the last few years has been really good. So I'm actually quite excited to get get to this film. This is probably going to be the first film of 2026 that I watch in the cinema.
Oh.
Yeah, not a strong first couple months. I've been looking for January and February. Nothing
I
really
know.
going on.
It's the only months I'm going to be able to go to the theater, and there's nothing really out to see other than Avatar 3, and I don't really want to spend money on that. So
Yeah, I was like, Avatar 3 is not wetting my whistle. Not much. I was thought Marty Supreme, maybe. I heard good stuff about it, but having watched the trailer, I don't even get what this movie's about, so I'm not going to bother.
Ping pong.
Well, yeah, I kind of guessed that was ping pong in it. So, well, you know, table tennis, as we call it.
Table tennis, sorry.
That's ping pong. So yeah, it's just this will be the first film of 2026 that I'm going to be really excited to go and watch.
Dude, I'd never heard of it until our boy JD brought it up earlier this year. He said something about he loved this book that he had already read, and he had heard word that they were doing a movie about it, and Ryan Gosling may be in it. And that was the first I had ever heard of it. And then now here we are. We were getting the trailers. I didn't realize it's the same author who wrote the book The Martian, which the movie with Matt Damon was made about. So it's very similar to that. People are expecting a similar quality in it. I think it looks great. I'm not going to be able to see it in theaters. I'm going to go buy the book tomorrow, or where we go Tuesday. I'm buying it Tuesday. I'm going to start reading it and try to knock it out. But what
about the book?
Well, I'll try to knock the book out too. But yeah, I'm going to go book first, and then I probably won't be able to see it while it's in theaters, but I expect it'll be a really solid one to go see in theaters during that time. Ryan Gosling too. Him and Matthew McConaughey, two actors I did not care for the majority of my life, and then all of a sudden they're two of my favorite actors.
Because they went from
really
rom-coms to like
That's probably
serious
why.
stuff. Yeah.
That's probably why. Yeah.
Let's talk about a big one. My second round draft pick, The Mandalorian and Grogu, coming out May 22nd. Star Wars is back in theaters. Din Djarin and Grogu step out of the galaxy's shadows and into a larger conflict as Imperial remnants rise and the future of the New Republic hangs in the balance. Internally described as a big screen version of Season 4, with major setup for future Star Wars crossover events. So definitely expect some cameos. I'm sure we'll see all of Filoni's boys and gals in there, just like Andy wants. You'll see some Ahsoka, see some Thrawn.
This is Favreau though. It's not Filoni.
That's
so
true. Filoni's the Emperor. He's pulling the
Semantics.
strings. Yeah. So Andy, do you think this will just be, like they're saying, a big screen version of Season 4, or can this be a movie, like a real Star Wars movie?
it is a difficult one because that is the big question, isn't it? Is this just a glorified episode of The Mandalorian, or does it serve some wider purpose? The problem is it needs to serve a wider purpose, because we've had the whole thing was that if we were moving towards that Thrawn Endgame film where it brings together the whole Mandoverse, that we only had this and maybe season 2 of Ahsoka, and then we were going to be arriving at the Thrawn film. Because there probably isn't going to. They said there probably wasn't going to be season 4 of Mando. There probably was going to be a season 3 of Ahsoka before that stage. A season 2 of Skeleton Crew looks unlikely. Season 2 of Boba Fett looks unlikely. So this was needed to start.
Where do you you see her in Ahsoka season 2 maybe as like a side plot, or you think they just save her off? Maybe she's in the movie. She's probably in the movie.
Probably. She probably has a cameo in the movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if she appeared in Ahsoka season 2 as well, to be honest. But yeah, this has to make headway towards that end game of that story. They can't just start dropping the story because Filoni's now in charge and Kathleen Kennedy's out. So I expected there to be some movement with the remnants of the Empire, and like that Dark Council storyline that they set up in the last season of season 3 of Mando. I do expect to see some movement towards that. So I expect it to be, in a way, I expect it to be both, just to sit on the fence. I expect it to be a glorified episode of The Mandalorian, but with greater movement towards the Thrawn storyline. I expect Thrawn to make a cameo in this film, in like that Dark Council capacity. Yeah. I expect him to show up and take control of the Dark Council, and just say, "Look, I'm here now," and set up his role for what's going to happen in season 2 of Ahsoka. So, yeah, I expect this to be both. I expect it just to be a glorified Mando, because we know that he's doing missions for the New Republic. Zeb's going to be in this from Rebels. So yeah, I expect it to be half and half, to be fair. I'm excited for it. It's Star Wars. You guys know me, I'm a Star Wars guy no matter what. So first Star Wars film in 7 years since Rise of Skywalker. So there's something we've been crying out for, the anticipation. It's 2 well-beloved characters. So I see this has to be a success. If it's not, then I'm going to kill myself.
Agreed. Dave, you're muted.
I absolutely am muted. I guess me and JD will continue to run the pod because I'm not going to kill myself if it fails. I am in a weird way with this, man. I don't have a lot of excitement for this. I don't. And I'm trying. It's a Star Wars movie, but like, honestly, I'm way more excited.
Boo that man. Boo!
Way more excited for Starfighter Star Wars movie than this one. I think Starfighter is going to be better, more unique, original. It's going to feel like a refreshing Star Wars story told on the big screen. I just don't have that feeling for this Mando project. I feel like it still just has the vibes to me of Chapek just trying to get box office money, even though he's gone and it's not him doing it.
What's our safest?
It just
thing
feels,
right now?
yeah, exactly. It just feels like a very safe play to throw Star Wars onto the big screen because we've lacked Star Wars on the big screen. And I want it. I want Star Wars on the big screen, but that's why I'm way more excited about Starfighter. That feels like a natural thing that is happening compared to Mando, where they're taking a season and going, you know what, let's just make a movie out of it. We got to get box office numbers. But I will say, if they drop another trailer and it's got more enticing aspects, I'm still a Star Wars sucker, so they can still reel me in by the time it comes out. Yeah,
get some Super Bowl trailers.
But the trailer they gave us so far, I don't have a lot of interest right now.
I think that's a fair point, like, because the trailer wasn't super hot. Because a lot of it been leaked in like some of the shows that Star Wars and Disney had done running up to before the trailer was released. So we'd seen a lot of the footage. We'd seen like the Rot of the Hutt was coming back. We'd seen that picture already. We'd seen what it was going to look like and stuff in that gladiatorial sort of arena. So that maybe some of it, the fact that some of it was spoiled early, and that's the problem. Obviously, in modern day stuff, shit gets spoiled early, and therefore some people might lose a bit of anticipation for it. But they do need to drop a fire trailer and a bit more of what's good. Yeah, throw a Bo-Katan in the trailer or something like that. Maybe
or
just, even if, I was about to say, a glimpse of Thrawn just walking into
a lightsaber. Put a lightsaber in it.
Always
feels like a cheap way to get CGI Luke again,
and you'll love it. And you will love it when you see it.
Grogu getting his own lightsaber.
Yeah. I'll say, you scumbags, this is so cheap. I love it. I'm in.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, they need a fire trailer. I think they do. I agree with that, to be fair. Yeah.
The only aspect of the trailer,
Rise of Skywalker had great trailers. I love that Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, you could have both.
Jumping over the fucking TIE fighter backwards. Oh my god.
Right. No, trailer. You gotta have both. But as far as my interest at this point, I'm going to need, a hype trailer to really get my interest peaked for this one. So far, I'm pretty skeptical.
All right. Another movie, not very much fandom, but I still want to talk about it because I think it's going to be good. Steven Spielberg is back with Disclosure Day. The world is thrown into chaos when governments officially confirmed extraterrestrial life, triggering global panic, political power plays, and a race to control the truth. So this is reportedly more prestige political thriller than a sci-fi spectacle, focusing on aftermath rather than aliens on screen, which I do kind of suspect from the trailer. It's more of like a real world kind of than all these aliens attacking and blasting us from the sky.
Independence Day.
Yeah, right. So great cast. The trailer looked creepy the way Emily Blunt started speaking in alien tongue. So Andy, are you an alien guy? Are you a Spielberg guy?
Generally, yes, but I kind of feel like about this how Dave feels about Mando after this trailer, and the fact that it just did not get me excited at all. Okay. Like, it kind of got announced out of nowhere that Spielberg was going to be dropping an alien film this year, and he was back and doing something new and exciting. And to be fair, there is I think a gap in the market for having an alien film where we're dealing with what the real world implications would be if alien life was announced and like they just showed up in the atmosphere one day. And I like those kind of films where you do get to see about like the real world implications, not just like, here's a bunch of single-handed guys in the military sort of saving the planet, sort of like Independence Day. So I do want to see that. The thing is, the trailer was boring and didn't really give you any initiative into what the film was genuinely going to be about so much. Like, even so, it didn't tickle my balls. So I'm not that bothered about it.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely think that, because Love, you picked this, didn't you, on your box office draft? I think this could be your massive flop of the year.
Whoa, what?
I don't think people are
Spielberg.
be as excited for this as you think they're going to be. I think this could potentially be a massive flop.
I like that market. I think we need a list of what at least our predictions of the top 2 massive flops we're expecting. So at least we got one on record. Andy thinks
What movie did Andy
Disclosure Day
pick?
is on there.
That's fine.
The British
You'd have
are right.
to be a real moron to draft Disclosure Day. I'll tell you what. But
Oh my god, it's fourth round. Come on.
no, I think I'm glad that they're doing the people's reaction movie to it. Like Andy said, we've seen enough of that. I don't need Battlefield with Rihanna. I don't need aliens invading. Like I would much rather get a grounded, like, holy crap, this is changing life and the government and different people reacting to this and seeing how it affects the world. Great cast. I mean, you got Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, Wyatt Russell, Coleman Domingo. Pretty solid little lineup you got going there. So, and Steven Spielberg directing. First time in a decade, I think, something like that. Maybe 2018 was the last time, 2016, but it's been a while. So yeah, I'm interested in it.
Cha-ching.
I don't think it's going to be box office madness. I don't know if it'll be the biggest flop, but I think it's going to be a solid movie. We do need more. It was just a quick teaser, so we still really don't know what the full plot of it is, but I'm intrigued.
There you go.
Oh,
All right.
sorry. Last thing, John Williams is composing. Got to throw that out there.
Andy, what do you say?
Didn't do it.
John Williams is a god. Your movie's still going to be shit.
Come on. You're lying. You're being stubborn. Okay, next, Supergirl, June 26th. Kara Zor-El embarks on a violent emotional journey across the galaxy, confronting grief, anger, and her place in the universe outside Superman's shadow. It's said to closely adapt Tom King's Woman of Tomorrow with a darker tone and minimal Earth-based action. So we did get a trailer for this maybe a month or so ago. Seemed very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. I think I liked it more than the other 3 members on this podcast. I like Millie Alcock. She was definitely a great young Rhaenyra. So I just think this movie, I feel like it could be a difference maker compared to Superman, with the space aspect and having Supergirl in there, kind of a character we don't know as much. I think this could surprise people. I don't know about in the box office because of course Andy did pick it, but as a movie overall, I think it could be pretty good.
I was literally just looking for my copy of the box office draft. I was like, oh shit, I didn't pick it. I kind of regret that now. This is my disclosure day, to be fair.
Andy, do you think
it was my 4th round pick?
You weren't a big fan of the trailer. Do you think this movie could be good?
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way, couldn't it? Like, it depends if you want to see Guardians of the Galaxy 4 or not. So it's I picked it because I think it has the potential, because the way people have been talking about it is the potential to do decently, like 5, 6, maybe 700 million in the box office.
Yeah.
Whether it does or not. What are you doing, David? Sticking pictures of his dog randomly, it's fine. Zooming in on his face.
Exactly what I was doing.
I can literally see you. I can see what you're doing. I'm distracted by Dave and his dog. Yes, so I am both excited and not bothered for this at the same point, because as of yet, again, the trailer does not have me hyped. I was probably more hyped for Superman last year, even though the trailer for that at the same point didn't get me as hyped as I wanted it to. But I wasn't expecting a lot from this trailer, to be fair. So I'm excited to see it, and I will go see it at the cinema, but I'm not... I don't know how to describe it. I'm just meh about it. Like I'm not either way at the moment. It sits in the middle of my list of like whether I care about it or not.
I'm definitely buying one of those like $20 a month movie passes just for the months of June and July. I feel like I'm gonna get my money's worth. It's like $20 a month, and you can see as many movies as you want. And there's like,
yeah, I have one in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they took them away recently, so they back. Are those monthly? Because for a minute there, they stopped offering them like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like, well, what the hell?
No, I last time I went to the movies, I feel like one of the commercials before the trailer started was like one of those things.
Okay, hell yeah. I told Megan, I told her, I know we got a baby coming, but June and July, I got to be in the theaters. I'm going to be seeing a lot of movies. So I'll miss the March and April and Mays, but June and July, I'm coming in hot.
Mando and Grogu, you can see it a week after it comes out, June 1st.
Yeah, we can watch it on Disney Plus a month later, but we'll see.
Wow. You're not going to see Star Wars in theaters?
Oh, I will. You know,
Doesn't want to support your box office winning.
Yeah, you're such a hater.
That's what it comes down to be fair.
Because believe me, I'm not, apart from Mando and Greg, I'm not going to watch any of your films.
I'm going to buy a Supergirl ticket and go see Mando and Grogu. No, Supergirl, you know, I think I've said a lot on it already, but I do think this is probably one of the biggest splits in opinion that JD and I have. I'm with Andy. I don't see this being good. I don't care about it. She's a great cast as the part. Jason Momoa is literally the perfect Lobo you could ever ask for. So if anything, I think the peak, the absolute highest point of this that's worth watching would be Jason Momoa's performance as Lobo. But outside of that, I don't have any interest in it. Yeah, like Andy said, it feels like a knockoff Guardians with less characters that I enjoy. So like, yeah, do I want Guardians without the Guardians, but Supergirl, a character I've never really cared for? Yeah, not really. Don't really care. So we'll see. I don't think it's hitting 600 million. I think I'd be kind of surprised if it hit 500.
Yeah, so it was a fourth round pick for me on box office. So, and to be fair, if JD grows his hair out any longer, he's going to start looking like the perfect Lobo soon, isn't he? So
I thought you were going to say Supergirl.
Well, I can do that too. It's closer in color.
I think he looked good in a red skirt.
Andy, you're right though about James Gunn starting this universe and going with 3 straight Superman movies. Like, kind of weird. Like maybe mix it up a little bit.
It's something I spoke about on one of our episodes with JD, and the fact that when it was announced he was taking over and doing the DCU, he came out and said, he didn't say that they were going to be in any particular order, but he said, here's the first 10 projects we're going to do. And he's already deviated from that plan, and he's changed things, and he's changed the order of things, and he's taken stuff off that list, and he's added things onto it. And so that for me is why, as you guys have known, me and JD have had quite a few debates from when I was previously a guest on the show and since I've been here about whether James Gunn is the right person to lead the DCU in this manner. And I'm like, he's already thrown out his plan out the window, which he said he was going to stick to. And he said he was not going to do the Marvel stuff. But now he's just concentrating on one set. We're not even going to get like Batman and Justice League until like I'm in my 50s. So
was the Superman sequel was never planned to be in the first part. Yeah.
No. And they've just turned around and gone, well, we will get that knocked out of the park already. And like, it's not like the first Superman was such a huge success that it warranted it to throw it in straight away. Like, get your other big characters in there. Because like, there's no news about a Wonder Woman casting, about the Flash casting, about an Aquaman or anything like that. So it's kind of like, get your base characters in there first. You don't want to stick to the Marvel formula, even if it was successful, because it's been overplayed now. At the same point, this is DC, and you need to get your shit in order, and you're not doing that right now.
No.
So
and your biggest character outside of Superman, the only news we have other than a delayed Elseworlds thing with Batman is they gave the script to the lady who wrote The Flash, who wrote Birds of Prey. There I go again as the Grimace. For some reason, somebody technical out there explain to me why I keep freezing and turning purple. I don't know. But they gave it to the girl who wrote The Flash, Birds of Prey, and the Batgirl movie that was so terrible that they just decided to cancel it, even though it was fully produced and everything was 100%. So you know she's a good writer. And the scenes of Batman in The Flash outside of Michael Keaton's scenes, which that doesn't count in my opinion because it's Michael Keaton. You're just using an already created character. So the writing of Michael Keaton doesn't count for me in that. The writing of Ben Affleck was dog shit in The Flash. It was the worst Ben Affleck we have seen out of any of the DCEU projects in The Flash. Terrible. He starts doing the lasso of truth, how he's emasculate and he's compensating and all that. Like, nobody wants that in their Batman. So the fact that they chose that person for the writer of Batman, and that's the only news we have, no casting, nothing. Yeah, I'm not feeling great about the DCU right now. But
I'm regretting picking Supergirl after all this as my 4th round pick.
This is very unfair. JD's gone and we are just tearing it apart right now. But
okay, let's talk about something a little more positive. Because we got a couple bangers back-to-back coming in the month of July. July 17th, The Odyssey. A sweeping retelling of Odysseus's perilous journey home after the Trojan War filled with gods, monsters, temptation, and the slow erosion of hope. Of course, we have Nolan with the practical effects, grounded performances over heavy CGI. There's the Cyclops. There's all the different monsters in this. The cast is absolutely stacked. I think this is probably going to win Best Picture. I'll say that right now. I would definitely have this as my front runner for Best Picture over Dune Part 3.
Oh, over Dune Part 3. Okay.
Because, I mean, the Doomsday is not going to get nominated for an Oscar.
Right. It won't. It's not going to be a Best Picture nomination.
Right.
Marvel ain't never going to be a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah. So, The Odyssey. I'm seeing this downtown SAC, real IMAX, full fucking pleasure. That's what we're going for. So
full pleasure.
That man's got tissues and everything at the ready.
Well, because I saw the
He's got his Dune bucket.
Because I saw
I don't need no popcorn in this.
I saw the prologue at the IMAX theater, and it's like, okay, I got to come back here to watch the movie now. So that's how it's gonna go.
That's fair.
I'll go in the middle of you two talking about this one. I don't care. No, I'm joking. I wanted to see Love's reaction. This is on my lower, my mid end, my middle ground of whether I'm most anticipated to least.
Okay.
Simply because you know it's going to be good because it's Christopher Nolan. I haven't seen a couple of the previous Christopher Nolan films, like
Tenet
or Oppenheimer.
Oh,
because Oppenheimer seems just boring to me. It's not really.
It's overrated. It's overrated.
You hate America.
Of course I do. I'm fucking British.
What, you mean the movie that shows Oppenheimer's immediate regret? Like, why?
The film that just shows something that I learned about in school. So why would I then need to see it for 3 hours on screen? So, but I do want to see this film, and I'm intrigued by this film because I think the cast is amazing as well. At the same point, it's not just because of the other things on the list. It's not my most anticipated thing out there that I want to rush to see. I'm also, this is another one I'm in conflict with about how well this is going to do in the box office, because it is going to be a big film. But then again, I thought that about Oppenheimer. I didn't understand what the fuss behind Oppenheimer was in the build up to it. And then it hit almost $1 billion, I think. Was it like
975?
So maybe
Shut
I'm going to be wrong
there,
about this. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about this as well.
I
But
championship with that one.
I think this is one of the ones that can go either way in terms of the anticipation of the general audience, because historical pieces tend to be very well received in terms of critique, but don't necessarily do the best at the box office.
Oh, the critiques, the critics, the professional critics are going to be smelling Nolan's farts. That's for sure. Oh my God, it's the greatest masterpiece I've ever seen.
So I am intrigued to see it, but it's not the one I'm going to be like first out the door for. So don't expect it to be like in the top 3 of my most anticipated.
Rude.
Yeah.
But Dave, save the podcast, please.
Let me speak from the void here. Let me speak a little facts. Put down the hard truth here. Andy's wrong here. I agreed with him on the last bit about Supergirl and a couple other things. We're gonna have to split ways here. So you talk about Oppenheimer, which, by the way, incredible movie, incredible acting. Won a lot of awards. Really well done. Very boring premise. I will give you that. Very boring. You're testing a nuclear bomb. You never even see it used. You literally only saw the testing and the results. Spoiler alert, I guess. You don't see it blow up Japan. If you wanted to see that, yeah, that may open another can of
watch
worms
the James
about what
Cameron
wanting,
movie
but
coming out.
yeah, sure. No, we don't support James Cameron. But anyways, that slow of a movie. Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy, $975 million. Not in the COVID years, but the box office hadn't quite recovered from COVID by that point. It was still mid 2023.
It did get the Barbenheimer push, though.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. that also kind of took some. Well, it's a different crowd. It's a different crowd.
But they saw
still,
both movies. A lot of people
Right.
went and saw
People
both of
did.
them.
And the problem is, I saw Barbie and I didn't see Oppenheimer.
Good lord, we got
Hey,
to
my
find
wife-
a co-host.
My wife took me to Barbie, and I had the
Same.
worst experience because I've been at work for far longer than I expected to be. The queue was massive when I got to the cinema, so I didn't get a chance to get any food, and I hadn't eaten since like lunchtime, and this was
Oh,
evening
no.
time.
God.
Then I had to sit through Barbie,
Eating
so I was furious. To be fair, so don't worry, it's not like I wanted to see Barbie and I loved it. I was
Fair
furious
enough.
by the end of it. I nearly walked out
Well,
to go and get food.
but see, if Barbie didn't exist, maybe you and your lovely wife would have gone and seen Oppenheimer, and they would have
No,
got
she
an
lives in
extra
Florida
2
as well.
tickets sold. All
You
right,
have
fair
gotten
enough.
divorced.
But anyway, $9.75 for a boring premise. You've got the Iliad being retold by Christopher Nolan with Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, the 6 other people I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head. But it's Christopher Nolan. And it's one of the most famous stories that every single high school kid in America had to read for their high school. So everybody knows it in America. I don't know if you had to read it in high school in the UK there.
Yeah,
but
we
in the
read proper
US
stuff like Shakespeare.
Yeah, no, we don't deal with that bullshit. We
We read
stories.
Shakespeare too, Dave. Don't make us look that dumb.
Yeah, to not to be hold a skull Hamlet, that's cool. We read about the books and fights and cyclopses and sirens. But no, anyways, it's a story that people know. It's a familiar story, and it's Christopher Nolan. So in my mind, there's no way it doesn't at least get close or surpass Oppenheimer. But I have high hopes for this movie. I think it's gonna be incredible. So I can't wait for it.
Andy, I did take British literature senior year of high school, so that should give me some brownie points with you.
Yeah, taught by El Dorado. I'm sure it was great.
Brit Clit, I used to call it.
British literature in El Dorado County. What was that?
Shakespeare. French up Shakespeare. Come on. Who
I
has
think
this
William
movie?
Shakespeare
Did
was American.
Dave, did you get this second round or did JD get it? No, JD got
I
it.
got it. No, I
You
got
got it.
Odyssey. I think it was
Okay.
third round though.
No.
No, you're right. Second. Michael was third round.
Michael was third round. Risky pick. Okay.
You picked him last year, jackass.
I didn't. I regretted it. So good luck. Actually, F1 nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Andy, how you feel about that?
Wow, there
Sweet.
you go.
I think it's a really good film. My favorite film in 2025. So
Will
Okay.
Spider-Man 4 be your favorite film of 2026? Because Peter Parker navigates life after losing anonymity, returning to
Beautiful
street-level
segue.
heroism while facing consequences with no multiversal or Avengers safety net.
that was gorgeous. Love you.
This is rumored to be a hard tonal reset focusing on crime, responsibility, and a more isolated Peter. That was a great transition. Could Spider-Man be your movie of the year? Do you think it could beat out Avengers?
No.
What do you like? What do you think about racing? Yeah. No. Well, anyways, Peter Parker is coming.
No, because F1 was his movie of the year last year. The Cities. Come on.
Oh,
I'll let you have it.
it was great. No, genuinely, I thought it was a good transition. You should do that more often. It's not going to be Endgame, is it? Let's be honest. I'm excited for it because it should be top tier Marvel.
Do you see
But
it
it's-
tying into Doomsday at all?
Well, this is the thing again, isn't it? They've told us no, it doesn't. It runs like concurrent to or to the start of Doomsday because none of the people that are going to be in Doomsday, none of the people that are going to be in Spider-Man are going to be in Doomsday. So we've said
they're
that
holding off
Hulk-
Spider-Man, for
Hulk and
Secret
Peter
Wars.
Parker. Well,
Right.
Tom Holland Spider-Man won't be in Doomsday. Whether
Right.
the other two are
Rumored.
quite debatable, yeah. So no Hulk. Whoever Sadie Sink's character is, because they still haven't fucking confirmed, it could be one of 4 different ones. She apparently she's going to be in Doomsday, but I don't know whether that's a lie because they just trying to push it forward and whether she's actually more likely to be in Secret Wars. It's going to be. I think I mean, when you're looking at, you got Peter Parker, you got the Hulk, you got Punisher. Okay, it's going to be a toned down Punisher because it's not like Netflix series.
Yeah, no R.
The Department of Damage is obviously going to play a role in this as well,
Man.
which, are we bothered about them? Probably not, but they played a big element of previous Spider-Man films. So, and I can't remember the last time we even saw Department of Damage, whether it was like the Marvels.
video games,
Um,
right? Aren't they in the video games? Isn't the
well, the Avengers one.
oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but they were in what? They were in the Ms. Marvel TV series. I think
They're
they
in
played.
Ironheart, I think.
I maybe very briefly. I don't think they played a major role in
at
it.
the very start. No,
they go like clean up the battles afterwards and like collect all the cool shit.
So
Homecoming was their biggest debut.
Yeah. That, and they played a significant role in Ms. Marvel as well, didn't they? So, but apart from that, like this film has potential because all Spider-Man films hit nearly like 1 billion of the Tom Holland ones. So this should definitely be. It's not going to have the nostalgia of the previous one, but it needs to be a good movie, and there need to be consequences at the end of it that do lead into Doomsday or Secret Wars, especially since, and we're having to deal with the repercussions of whatever happens in New York from Daredevil as well, because they kind of deflected that in Thunderbolts because they kind of went, okay, Thunderbolts was technically set before Daredevil,
right?
And then they just jumped to the post-credit scene that's like 14 months later, so they avoided that consequence. Whereas this, as if Martial Law doesn't get sorted and things sorted at the end of season 2 of Daredevil, then it has to play into the consequence of this film. And if it doesn't, then they're pissing on the continuity of the MCU a little bit. So between TV and film, which they're supposed to be reconciling. So there are some things to keep an eye on in this film, but I still have no doubt it's going to be one of the biggest films of the year.
Yeah, Dave, this movie has a lot of weight to carry. Do you feel like there's too much going on with Hulk and Punisher and setting up Doomsday? Do you think this movie is going to be as great as No Way Home?
You know, I think it has the potential for sure to be a better quality overall than No Way Home. When you strip No Way Home from the nostalgia, I think it definitely has the opportunity to be a better, well-written, well-performed movie. Andy talked about the box office. You know, Homecoming 900 million roughly. Far From Home hit 1.2, I think, and then No Way Home in 2021, mind you. This is COVID is in full effect. It hit 1.9, like 1.9 billion. For 2021
first round pick, baby,
is insanity. So I think you're going to have some piggybacking off of that. Obviously, the main reason for that was the nostalgia with Andrew
Garfield.
What's happened to my brain? Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. But you got Punisher. I don't really care at all about Hulk here. You could take him out of the movie, and I would not be any less excited for this. I don't really care about. I think he's kind of. He's been butchered things, if anything. Yeah, I don't need Mark Ruffalo and Hulk in this movie at all. I think it's gonna be great. I'm really excited. Spider-Man's my favorite character. I think it's gonna be really good. It's the only thing is it's just in a year full of really good movies. It's the only thing it's got going against it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Hunger Games: Sunrise of the Reaping. Does anybody want to talk about this?
It was my third round pick on box office, and again, I kind of regret it. I just think it was going to do well based on previous Hunger Games films, but I could not give a shit about this film.
Okay.
Yeah. Did anybody watch the most recent one, the President Snow prequel?
No,
okay,
I didn't.
So I didn't either.
I haven't even watched all of the original ones. I watched like parts of them.
Fair enough. Okay.
I know the premise of the films and I know the storyline, but I haven't watched a completed film, to be honest.
Okay. So Haymitch is Woody Harrelson's character in the main movies, and this new movie is a prequel following him during his time in the Hunger Games. So that to me is more interesting than the President Snow prequel. I know my niece loved this book because this book just came out recently with Haymitch's backstory like a year or two ago, and they're already making a movie out of it. So there is some hype behind it as far as that goes. My niece is 14. She loves it. She's stoked on the movie coming out. I'm not going to see it in theaters. And Andy, no offense, but out of all your picks, this is my highest pick for biggest flop possibility. I think this could easily flop this year at the box office. Actually, offense.
Offense not taken. It's fair. I went on this pick on recommendation of my wife saying that the previous ones had a big following and would probably do well. So if it flops, we know who to blame. Divorce incoming.
Well, this might be a movie you guys want to talk about. I never saw the first one, but I still will see it before this one.
Sort yourself out.
I know. Godzilla -0 coming out November 6th.
Are you kidding?
I've never seen it still. I don't know. I tried to watch it once and
tried. We stoned
Close
again.
the camera. I don't want to look at you.
I know. So, a direct sequel to the Oscar-winning Godzilla -1. The story picks up after the end of the previous film with Godzilla's lingering presence. Spoiler alert. Probably shouldn't read this. and humanity trying to rebuild in a world still haunted by its devastation. Plot details are tightly under wraps, but early indications suggest the film expands the setting beyond post-war Japan, possibly involving major evacuations, global threats, and a new monster action as Godzilla's regeneration underwater becomes central again. So they're saying maybe some Mothra or other classic kaijus coming into this movie. Who was the villain for Godzilla in the first one, and who could you guys see in the second one?
If you want to know who the villain is, watch the fucking movie.
Who does he go against?
Nobody.
He goes against the Japanese
people.
People.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
The whole first movie is like a metaphor for Japan's recovery after the nuclear bombs went off during World War II. So it's about how Japan treated World War II.
Yeah, it's the sequel to Oppenheimer.
Death. Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, it's a very large metaphor about Japan's involvement with World War II and how they treated their suicide bombers, how they looked at death as a whole, how they looked at the value of life. It's a deep movie for Godzilla -1, which kind of makes me nervous. Shit. Well, that's not really what they focus on in the movie there. It's more Japan's reaction to it, but it's not really, they don't really focus on the US much other than the fact that Godzilla kind of represents the nuclear bomb, but it's after World War II, if I recall correctly, in that movie. Yeah,
it's set in the aftermath. It's like 3 years after it. Well, obviously the beginning part starts during World War II,
right? During
and then
the battles,
and then the rest of the film is based like about 3 years after World War II.
Right. So with Godzilla -0, I'm a little nervous because I thought it was perfect. -1. It was a perfect analogy. It was a beautiful metaphor, and it was done so incredibly well. If you bring it global, you start bringing in Mothra and stuff like that. To me, it kind of cheapens the story of Godzilla -1 that made it so special. No, don't get me wrong. I would love to see this again and the story continued. I just hope they don't like kind of commercialize it instead of sticking with the special story, the unique story, the personal story that we're kind of telling in a weird, unique way with Godzilla -1.
Yeah, it's such a difficult one for me because I loved the first movie so much. It was perfect in every kind of way. And the fact that, like, it's not like, with all due respect to the Americanized version of Godzilla that we've had over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
In the fact that he was massive and tall with his little T-Rex arms, and he's very slow moving. And when he does his atomic breath, he needs time to recharge. He can't just redo it instantly. But the actual effect from his atomic blast was like an atomic bomb going off as well. You see that in the movie. So it was just perfect. And I was very much like, we do not need a sequel to this. They set it up in the fact that, like, when they blow him up at the end, a tiny part survives and you see it starting to regenerate in the water. And so they set that up if they wanted to do one. They didn't need to.
Right.
This is a film that does not need a sequel. And so therefore, I'm excited that they're doing a sequel. It was my wild card pick for the 5th round of box office. I could have gone with movies that would probably make more at the box office, but I wanted to give this one a chance. So I'm worried because you don't need a sequel to the first one. And so I'm worried that they screw up the aura of the first one in the second one by extending it beyond the grounds of what they're doing it by bringing in other kaiju, other worldly threats, by extending it out from Japan. Because I watched this with the original Japanese speaking as well. I didn't watch like the dubbed version or anything like that. I don't know if Dave, you even watched, like, I don't know if they did it in America, but they released the black and white version as well.
I haven't watched the black and white, but I watched the Japanese.
Go back and watch
version.
it, especially the bit when he does the atomic breath as well. That scene is unreal in black and white. And so there's so much about the first one to like that does make me worried about the second one. It's ruining it. At the same point, I was so excited to see this.
Dude, but it's just like Andy said though. That's why it was so special. It didn't feel commercialized. It felt personal. It felt heartfelt. There was emotion in it. It didn't feel just like a stupid big dumb blockbuster. It was like meaningful.
The acting was amazing as well.
It was great. Yeah.
There's only one bad point about this entire film, and that's that woman survives the atomic blast and she survives at the end. But she should have been fucking dead. She should have been smushed. Somehow she survives. But apart from that, this film was perfect.
No, Lub, I'm not exaggerating when I say I think my favorite moment in cinema, I don't know if my favorite, but one of the most breathtaking moments that I've watched in the theaters has been the first atomic blast of Godzilla in theaters on the IMAX screen when he releases it in this movie in -1. Bro, it's insane. Like, you feel the leverage of a nuclear bomb going off. Like, they just did it to perfection the way they shot that scene. So
Wow.
that's one of my favorite scenes of any movie in Godzilla -1.
That does suck when like a filmmaker makes a movie they're very passionate about, and then it seems like they're almost forced to make a sequel. Like they weren't planning
Joker
on it
2.
originally. What was that?
Joker 2.
Yeah,
Joker
exactly.
2.
Or even Shogun season 2 that hasn't came out yet, but it seemed like they weren't planning on a Shogun season 2, and now they're it was so successful,
so
everybody
well.
loved it. Let's make another one, and I'm sure that wasn't his plan originally. So let's hope it has the same quality as the first one.
By the way, Joker 2 made 200 million. The
Oh, it
first
was
one made
horrible.
$1 billion. Like that. I've still never seen it
It's
because
bad.
I thought it looked terrible. But yeah.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But we had 2 movies to wrap it up.
There you go. Yeah.
2 great movies around the Christmas holiday season. We have Avengers Doomsday. So let's kick it off with Avengers. Of course, the Avengers reunite in a fractured world as a catastrophic threat forces heroes and former enemies to choose between survival and sacrifice. Widely believed to be a soft reboot moment. Introducing new long-term Avengers while phasing legacy characters into mentor or exit roles. So we obviously have the 4 teasers that didn't show a lot. Tease Chris Evans coming back, Chris Hemsworth coming back. We got the X-Men with Magneto and Professor X, Cyclops, their school being destroyed, and then we got the Wakandans with Ben Grimm, the Thing, meeting up to probably go against Doctor Doom after what happened in the post-credit scene. This is definitely the first Avengers movie that feels like it has the least amount of setup for it, in a way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because obviously Endgame had an entire
Matt.
movie for setup.
Right.
Infinity War had a pretty
Civil War.
solid setup with a lot of Thanos post credits leading up to it. Civil War was an Avengers movie, but it kind of was. Age of Ultron,
Well, I mean,
that
it
was
set-
one we
Civil
didn't
War
really
set up Infinity War well.
Oh yeah, I got you. You're right. Yeah. Age of Ultron kind of didn't have a lot of build up. That's, I think, the closest one. The first Avengers too. Loki was kind of out of nowhere too. We didn't know what the plot line was going to be for the first Avengers, but obviously it's on such a larger scale with so many different characters involved. So compared to modern day Avengers movies, yeah, we have no idea really what's going down here yet.
This has had no setup. I don't know what we're saying about has it had enough setup or has it had a little setup. It's had no setup. It had one
Right.
post-credit scene at the end of Fantastic Four, because you can't even really count the Thunderbolts one, because whilst yes, it showed going into the events of what it's going to be part of the Doomsday film, that scene, but at the same point, it's not really set up.
No,
It's
there's
just
no
a
plot
tease.
point revealed.
So
We don't know what it
we're going
means.
into what we're anticipating to be and what is going to be one of the top 2 or 3 biggest films that Marvel have ever done, and yet we've got nothing about this film, and that's scary to me. Obviously we are anticipating so much about this film, and we're so excited for it. At the same point, that's the flip side of it for me, is that I am so annoyed because there's been no setup. There's been no effort to set up anything. They've had plenty of time since they decided to change tack from going with like the Kang Dynasty to this, and yet they still made no adjustment for it, and that's pissed me off a bit, because you need setup. Spider-Man's not going to set this up. Daredevil's not going to set this up. Wonder Man's not going to set this up.
Right.
So
Post-credit
there's no-
scene, Spider-Man. That's honestly our best hope.
maybe, and
Post-credit
obviously
scene from
the fact that
Spider-Man.
we've talked about that they're re-releasing Endgame in cinemas in September,
Right.
supposedly with this additional post-credit scene that will be a setup for Doomsday, but that is a shoe-in.
That's also
again,
late.
Yeah,
That's September. I mean, I expect them to drop something during the Super Bowl, and I expect them to drop something in the next couple of months. I don't know if we have Comic-Con coming up as far as anything there goes, or if we could expect some trailers to be released, because obviously Doomsday doesn't come out till December. But I would agree. Yeah, we don't know what the movie is about at all at this point, other than Doom's in it. But Marvel's kind of doing that. Like Spider-Man drops what 4 months from now or something.
There's been no trailers.
No trailer. We don't even have a poster. We have nothing on Spider-Man. So I don't, there a lot of the MCU stuff right now. I feel like, I don't know if they're just behind, if this is a new strategy they're doing with revealing stuff very late in the game. But I agree. Yeah, we don't know other than Doom is involved, and we know Secret Wars is coming after the fact, and we know Battle World will be involved. Loki will probably be involved. But as far as an actual plot goes, we got nothing at this point.
Because we're just guessing, aren't we? So it just feels like there's going to be a lot of setup at the start of the film. Like this rumored runtime of 3 hours 45 is probably going to be a lie as well. I don't expect it to be that long. It should be that long because the amount of shit they've got to do in this film.
It needs to be that long.
So I would, if that film is that long, I expect the first hour to be set up for Doom. Then it's going to be like Avengers versus X-Men is the other big point of this film. With Doom's going to set that off, and then Doom going off to probably battle Loki with his own little team for control of the fucking multiverse. So that seems to be the 3 stages of what we're getting. Is going to be the setup of Doom, Avengers versus X-Men, and then the final showdown against Loki.
So are you guys worried about this movie, or do you think with the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. and everybody coming back that this could be on the level of Infinity War and Endgame?
I'm not.
Yes and no.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Just yes and no, because everyone's saying, the Russos haven't missed with their MCU films so far, which is probably a fair statement.
Yeah.
2 Cap films and 2 Avengers films, and they've nailed them. Mm-hmm. At the same point, you're bringing back key originals to satisfy the fact that we haven't had anything good from Marvel in quite some time. Yeah. And you're trying to get box office hits, and you're in danger of ruining, because they obviously talk about the fact that Tony Stark's death at Endgame plays into Doom's story, and how they're now saying he was going to be Doom all along, and all this bullshit that you're endangering Tony Stark's MCU legacy at the same point of bringing original Cap back that went back in time at the end of Endgame. You're bringing that Cap back as well, and so you've still got Thor in there and whoever else they want to throw in.
Thor's okay. Originals. Okay. Captain America is a stretch.
But, so you're in danger of ruining the legacy of what you set up at the end of Endgame by having their stories finished and done and dusted. And the heads at Marvel have panicked, and they've changed things around. They're bringing back the originals for clout and for box office. At the same time, it could be the most fucking epic thing in there. It's such a double-sided coin that it could ruin things so much for the originals and what the legacy they left at the end of Endgame, but it could also enhance it so much.
We could be so back.
It could.
We're back for the 17th time.
I'm not worried about the overall aspect of it. Again, I know it's like we said, Russo's original stuff coming back. We've heard some crazy stuff about the opening sequences. What I will say is I think bringing Chris Evans back was a mistake. I do. I'm not that hyped by it, bro. I don't. The story, like Andy just said, the story they left off in Endgame, I thought that was the perfect conclusion for Steve Rogers. I love Steve Rogers. I love Chris Evans as Captain America. The Mjolnir scene with him, every aspect of everything in Endgame with him was perfect. I think it's very lazy to bring him back. So
what about Anthony Mackie?
What about him? He's supposed to be there. That's fine.
No, he's supposed to be Captain America now, and now they're saying, "Oh no, actually, wait, Chris Evans."
Well, they're going to bring Steve. They're probably going to call him Nomad now, so he doesn't take the Captain Rogers mantle. I don't know. They'll do something, but I just think I agree with Andy on that. The Chris Evans thing felt so super cheap that it's just I could 100% do without Steve Rogers being back for this movie. I will say the Tony thing, which I also agree about. It feels cheap, desperate. They needed to get back to that. They do have more stuff with that. You know, we heard the lines in Multiverse of Madness where your dreams are not dreams, they're memories from a variant. And we know that Tony Stark in Age of Ultron had the dream about I killed the Avengers, and we see the Avengers lay dying. And we think that's all having to do with Age of Ultron. And this obviously wasn't what they planned at the time. But it does work out pretty well for them to retcon it and being like, yeah, that was a Doctor Doom vision he was having, or a dream, or yada, yada. They've dropped breadcrumbs enough where you can tie in Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. It's still a little lazy, but I'm more open to that aspect. The Captain Rogers thing, I think, is lazy. They shouldn't do it. Peggy Carter being a main role in this, absolutely zero interest.
Oh, you don't want to see more Captain Carter?
Yeah, I'm good. We got enough in What If for an entire year's worth of Captain Carter stories, so I'm good there. We got her in Multiverse of Madness. Overall, I'm not concerned. It's going to break $1 billion easily, no matter what.
Easy. 2 billion is the kind of.
But I just heard a rumor today, and again, it's a rumor, and with Marvel, rumors are, mean
Everybody
as much as fly shit means. It's everywhere. I don't think fly's even shit. I don't know what that saying had to do with anything, but we're gonna keep rolling. I heard rumor that they're considering splitting it into 2 parts.
No.
Now, to me, it's a little late in the game to do that, but
Especially
this
when you
rumor
delayed
is picking up a lot of steam, and I think Variety even reported on it.
Thing is, this rumor's been around for like a year.
Right.
And if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now, because otherwise they would not have delayed it by the 6 months that they did last
Right.
year.
It'd be a
If they're gonna split it
wild
in 2 parts.
move.
Yeah, I don't see this happening. I mean, the rumors, as you say, fly around. I mean, there's another rumor flying around today that Disney have fired Mark Ruffalo and he'll no longer take part in any other Disney projects post
Really?
Secret Wars because of his speech at the Golden Globes.
Because he wore a Renee Good patch. Okay.
It was the speech he gave on the red carpet at the Golden Globes. So they're like,
Wearing the
Oscar
patch.
Isaac kind of thing.
yeah. So post Secret Wars, I mean, but neither Marvel nor Mark Ruffalo have confirmed that. So again, flies on shit situation.
Bring back Edward Norton. That's fine.
Yeah, he's a crazy bastard. And we have finally Dune Messiah coming out the same day. And Dune Messiah did claim all the IMAX theaters for the month of December. So that's been Doomsday will take it. Maybe Doomsday gets IMAX in January after it's came out for a while, but still definitely going to take a hit off that.
They'll re-release.
This movie, yeah, they'll re-release. This movie does have a time jump. Now Emperor Paul Atreides faces rebellion, prophecy, and the terrifying cost of absolute power as the universe turns against its messiah. Denis Villeneuve has hinted this will be shorter, darker, and more physiological, with less spectacle and heavier consequences.
So what was that word you tried to say?
Physiological.
Physiological.
There was no I. There's a typo in here. It says physiological.
Do you mean psychological?
Psychological. Jesus Christ. So
How was that English course that you did?
it's been a while. So Dave, let's just keep it rolling. That never happened. Dave, you read the book. You read Dune Messiah, correct?
I did.
Do you think this movie has the chance of being better than Dune Part 2?
No. It won't surpass Dune Part 2. The book, and I've spoke on this in the podcast, so I'll keep it brief for you guys. The book is so much worse, Dune Messiah, than the first book. It takes place 10 plus years after the events in which the first Dune book and Dune Part 2 ends with the Holy War is starting, and Dune Messiah takes place after it ends. So great, we skipped the entire Holy War, and now we are dealing with the results of that and the reactions of other people who have lost the Holy War, et cetera, et cetera. So book wise, it was very disappointing to me. It was a slow read, but Denis Villeneuve, he has my full confidence that he will make this a good movie. It will be a watchable movie. There's definitely aspects that are there to make this a great movie watch. I'm going to watch it in IMAX. Dune 2 is incredible. He has earned my trust. But I don't think you can surpass Dune 2 just on the storytelling level of it. The story of Dune Messiah just was nowhere close to the first Dune book. So
Better than the first one?
Maybe. It depends because he's got to break away from the book a little bit. If he sticks 100% to the book, there's no freaking chance it's going to be better than the first one. If he gives a little bit of creative licensing with stuff, maybe, but it ain't going to surpass Dune Part 2 in my opinion.
Andy, are you a big Dune guy? I don't know if you ever really discussed Dune on the podcast before.
I haven't read the books simply because I think I'd said to you guys before that after seeing Part 2, I wanted to go out and read the books, but I wanted to wait and let Part 3, the film, come out first, so I could watch that and then go back and read the books and the difference, rather than having potential bits of the film spoiled by having read the book. I want to see that. I want to see Denis' vision first before going back and then reading the book separately. So, but It took me a while to watch Dune, but I really got into it. So I think when Dune Part 2 when Dune Part 2 came out in the cinema, I was like, I want to go and watch this, but I haven't seen Part 1. So what I did was I think it was like a Sunday evening, I watched Part 1 on Netflix and then went and saw Part 2 at the cinema the next day. So it was like both parts straight fresh, one after the other.
Perfect.
And I absolutely loved it. I've become such a big like Dune Part 1 and 2 fan.
I mean, it is Star Wars.
Listen, I don't buy a lot of films anymore nowadays, but I bought it off Amazon Prime, Part 1 and Part 2, because I wanted to have it. And I will do the same no matter how good Part 3 is. So I've got the collection there. I know we had a debate in the chat the other day that does this potential to become the best film trilogy of all time in fandom.
Right.
And the general consensus was that it won't be Lord of the Rings, because it was fought very hard for by one corner of the
or Guardian.
Oh, fucking God, don't even get me started on that. Jesus. But I think this has the potential. I do think the little I know about the book and what David said, because I listened to that episode when you guys reviewed it and talked about the book. So I do expect him to break away a little bit from there and have a bit of creative license and make it more intriguing. I do like the premise of just skipping the Holy Wars, because who needs another film about a war? We've seen that plenty of times.
There's flashbacks though, right?
Not in the book. Ain't prologue. There's nothing. They don't.
Weird.
They barely mention it. I don't even know what the hell happened during it. That's my main problem. There wasn't even at least a prologue of summary. I don't know what happened. Like,
I mean, it's hard with those characters as well to maybe skip the entire Holy Wars, simply because how do you take people like Timothy Chalamet and Florence Pugh and stuff and their situation at the end of the second film and then age them by like 10, 15 years because they've not done that in real life. And Timothy Chalamet still looks like he's fucking 19. So even though he's like 30 now. Generous. So I am super excited for this. I generally can't wait. I'm debating it. I was thinking in my head, like, what am I going to go see first, Dune or Doomsday? Because it's the same day that it comes out.
Right.
And the likelihood is that if there's like a midnight premiere for Avengers, I will go to the midnight premiere for Avengers, and then I will see Dune later the same day.
Right.
So I will both watch them on opening day. I have no doubt about that. I've said to the wife, you need to put the day off work, look after the kid. I'm going to the midnight premiere and then, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter if it's midnight.
Right.
I'll see the midnight premiere and then I'll go back on the Friday evening to watch Dune. So
I just think because of spoilers, you have to see Doomsday first because it's going to be spoiled all over the internet over Dune.
I think Avengers will get spoiled far quicker than Dune would do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, and because it is probably more anticipated, maybe just obviously, it's going to do. Avengers will do more at the box office, hands down. Mm-hmm. I think there's the debate that's been had of which film is going to be better, but which makes more at the box office, and it's always been Avengers will make more at the box office, but Dune will probably be the better film.
I could agree with that.
So I will still see both on opening day. That's going to be my Friday the 18th or whatever it is sorted. So
yeah,
I am looking forward to Dune. I can't lie. Since watching it, and the music as well.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer.
Dave's muted. I love that.
Arrival, Hans Zimmer, Arrival. That track on Dune. Oh my God, it just gets your blood boiling, man. Dune Part 2 was the best theater experience I've had since the Lord of the Rings movies. Absolutely.
Endgame?
Endgame? It's different. I don't know, man. It's hard to compare Endgame to other cinema. It's hard.
Endgame was fun, though, in the theaters.
It was. Yeah, I think Dune 2...
Because Dave's frozen, I'm just going to jump in here quickly and just say I would, as a Brit, especially as a Brit, I would have hated to have watched Endgame in an American cinema.
My theater wasn't that bad. Because we're in like a smaller town. I bet if we went to like Sacramento or
social
San Francisco,
social media skews that. I've never been in a theater where people were jumping around like monkeys. I'm back. I've never been in a theater where people are jumping around, screaming, yelling, throwing pop. I've never once experienced that in my life. So I don't know. I see those videos all the time. They're clearly in America. I don't know if it's LA, the high school kids going down there. I don't know what it is, but I've never once been in a theater where it was loud like that. Where people were cheering.
if I'd have missed out on hearing Steve Rogers go Avengers Assemble because the dicks were cheering, I'd have fucking like hurt some people.
Yeah.
So
you know how long I've been waiting for this?
Yeah.
So literally, like the biggest sounds in my cinema when watching Endgame came that when Cap finally picks up the hammer and it comes to him, there were gasps. That was it. That was the most noise that was made throughout the whole film. Like I think in Infinity War, when Thanos stabs Iron Man, I was the only one that gasped loudly and stood up out my seat because I thought he might actually die at that moment.
Stand up.
So I did. I was like, and like apart from that, there was no other. You could fucking hear a pin drop because everyone's just laser focused on just taking it all in. There's no cheering excitement. There's no fucking like pissing around and all this stuff. It's just take it all in your own. Like you can. I'm screaming in my head. I'm just being polite enough to not do it out loud. So I don't think I could have stood being in a cinema that was like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would hate that experience. I don't like people for the most part. So to be in a theater where everybody's talking and screaming during it like it's a concert, I would lose my freaking mind.
The closest that came to happening was Spider-Man No Way Home when Toby and Andrew appeared. There were cheers.
Yeah, that's a respectable amount of cheers is fine.
And even when Matt Murdock came on screen in that film, there were cheers. And
I remember that too.
I think the lady in front of me had an orgasm. So it was that's the closest I've had an every film experience to people shouting out in the cinema. And even like when Star Wars came back, like 2015 Force Awakens and stuff like that, all the ruckus was beforehand, and as soon as the fucking screen came down, shut up for the entire film.
Yeah,
the guy next to me looked weirdly at me when I shed a few tears when Han Solo died. I was like, mind your fucking business, mate. Look the other way.
He's a freaking national hero. He's a global hero.
But Denis did change Zendaya's character, so he definitely has already taken those liberties of kind of switching things around to make more sense. So he could do it again for Messiah.
Yeah, I think he absolutely will. And to me, there's enough content there to make a great movie. By the way, I know I got cut off, but I'll stand by. Dune Part 2 was a more fulfilling theater experience over Endgame. It was just a higher quality for me. It was just different. Endgame felt like it was just a Dune 2 was just another experience.
You know what's crazy? I saw it twice in theaters and I haven't watched it since. I've been like, I want to see it. I've been like wanting to, but I haven't watched it yet.
I think IMAX. Oh, it's another level.
I only watched it once, which is when I was like sending you guys the videos when I was like sat because I did part 1 and part 2 over a couple of days. Sat at home watching it, but it was something satisfying about walking out after part 2 and the fact that I felt like I'd seen something special. And like Endgame and Infinity War, with a combination of we've talked about that, it's fine. But this felt like the first time in quite a while. I have to agree that I'd walked out of the cinema a bit like having walked out from, say, Rogue One or Godzilla -1. I'd walked out the cinema feeling like I'd seen something genuinely a bit different and special.
Like special, yeah.
That's true.
Exactly. That's how I felt about Dune Part 2, man. It was,
and I want that feeling from Part 3. I don't think we'll get it, but I want that feeling. I want that feeling more from Dune than I do from Doomsday.
I think it needs to be better than Part 1, and like in between Part 1 and Part 2 would be a successful movie to me.
So it's going to be like Star Wars, the original trilogy.
Yeah.
If it does that, it can get close to the second best trilogy of all time. We'll see how the third movie does. Sorry, Star Wars.
Behind Jurassic Park?
No. Now Jurassic Park 3 was underrated.
Let's do our rankings real fast. I'll go first on this one. Least to most anticipated, Dave. We have 28 years later, Hunger Games. Sorry, guys. Godzilla -0. Only because I haven't seen the first one yet. Apologize. Mortal Kombat 2. Ahead of it is really bad. But, Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Supergirl, Mandalorian and Grogu at the 5 spot. And then we have Spider-Man, The Odyssey, Dune, and then Avengers #1. Come on. Andy?
Oh. So bottom to top, least to most. Hunger Games and 28 years later, couldn't give a shit. Mortal Kombat probably after that. Then probably Disclosure Day.
Okay.
Then Supergirl. I'm going to put Odyssey up there next.
Wrong.
And then what my top 5 now? Or top 6? Am I still at? I've lost count of where I'm at. Okay, so after that, I'll go Project Hail Mary.
Okay.
Then Spider-Man. So my top 4 are going to be Godzilla Minus Zero, Mandalorian and Grogu at 3. I don't think I can decide between 2 and 1 for Dune and Doomsday for which is my most anticipated, because I'm going to see them both opening day. I both want them to be fucking amazing. I've got more faith in Dune being amazing than Doomsday. At the same point, I want to see them both so badly.
Make a choice.
I think I'm going to put Doomsday 2 and Dune 1.
Wow. Okay.
Because I want Dune 3 to be so good, because this trilogy is really done something for me in terms of watching Dune Part 2 in the cinema. Because I didn't see Part 1 in the cinema. As I said, I watched it at home the day before I went. But Dune Part 2 made me walk out and nothing feeling so good. And apart from Godzilla Minus One, no fandom film has done that for me.
Right.
In 6, 7, 8 years. So,
And-
yeah, I'm going to put Dune at number 1.
And Messiah is like the end of the story, and Doomsday is almost the beginning of the Secret Wars story.
It's a soft reboot, so we're still going to get plenty more of the MCU.
Right.
And we've still got Secret Wars. It's not even the end of that story.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, Dune Messiah's book leads into a lot of other books. So it
But
ain't the end of the
Denis
book.
and
But they
Timothy
probably
Chalamet are not going to come back.
Yeah, I know.
Dave.
Okay, so least anticipated to most. We'll start off at 28 years later. Haven't seen the first one. Doesn't sound like it's very good. After that, we're gonna go with Hunger Games. Couldn't really care less about that one. Mortal Kombat 2. Disclosure. You know what? JD's gonna be mad. Supergirl and then Disclosure Day. Really not caring much about Supergirl at this point in my life. I already said Hunger Games, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All that. Okay, so we are to the top 7. So we got Mandalorian Grogu, and then Godzilla Minus Zero, and then Project Hail Mary, and then Spider-Man 4, and then our top 3 is the Odyssey, Doomsday, and Dune Messiah number 1. Andy,
Wow.
welcome in, brother.
Don't try and save face after putting Mando at 7.
I know.
Yeah, I said it early in the episode. I have zero anticipation
We
for
heard
it.
what you said.
I have no excitement, man.
We didn't.
Sorry,
forget- we
Dave.
wrote it down.
After
Zero.
putting Mandy 7, I am no longer sending you any dick pics.
Well, now I'm gonna switch Doomsday and Dune. I don't want to be on your team anymore.
Oh,
All right. Well, you know what? We'll save the video game segment for our next Week in Geek because we have
I
gone
forgot
a
we
little
were about
longer.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we'll next Week in Geek we'll talk about all the video games coming out in 2026. There's about 5 or 6 of them. So we don't have to just power through them real quick. We can really kind of talk about.
Let's just say
them.
GTA 6 is top of that list and just move on.
No, there's no rankings. We're just going to talk.
I don't even know if it's coming out in 2020.
Yeah, it's already been delayed 5 times. So, but thank you for joining us. We have a very jam-packed year ahead of us. We will be reviewing most of these, not all of them, of course, but the big stuff. You can expect to see us here. We'll be seeing an opening weekend. We do have some, new children coming into the world. JD already had one. Dave's about to have one. Andy, you good?
I'm not anymore. Fuck that.
You're good. Okay, so me and Andy will be here no matter what throughout the year. Dave and JD maybe be a little hit or miss, but thank you for joining us. What's our next episode? What are we doing next? We don't have anything planned, do we?
I think Week in Geek is probably going to be the next one, isn't it?
Yeah, we can geek.
We
Okay.
can geek. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, Fallout season 2. We got to finish
Yeah,
Fallout,
Fallout
season 2. That
season
ends
2.
in a
That'll-
couple weeks. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here at Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.